It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the progressive news show with Let's Be Esri. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, along with the whole crew, along with Theas, Tracy Carson, and Anna Hart. And on today's show, you see the title, Trump has been indicted again for the third time in 5 months. Also, what I didn't put in the title is, and expect a fourth one. Coming out of Georgia for, again, messing with the election. The only news that I kind of got out of there that's kind of controversial, and you know, Theas hates it more than I do, but when you try to put the spotlight on yourself instead of just doing your job, the only thing that I saw that coming out of Georgia is the sheriff of Fulton County down in Georgia said that if or when Trump is arraigned down there, that he will get a mugshot taken. So that's that whole I'm tough and but fair type talk. But we're going to go through the whole timeline of Trump from the indictment to the arraignment, and then a little couple of things sprinkled in the middle. Now, let me give you a forewarning about there's something going on with this system right now where every time I push something, there's a slight delay in things. And Theas, you're frozen, in case you didn't know. Otherwise, that is the greatest act. Okay, there you go. Something moving. All right. I was like, either he fell asleep with his eyes open or something, but there's a slight delay. There's something going on with the system, so don't worry. It is working. Just there's like more than a second or two before things go up. Theus, welcome back. How's everything going?
Everything's okay. No complaints. Family's healthy. Still got a job. Still eating, getting, yeah, good. Yes, how's everybody else?
Yeah. Tracy?
Football is so close to happening. I am doing fantastic. I watched some preseason football and tears rolled down my eyes. I'm telling you, I'm happy today. I'm so happy.
Anna?
I'm doing good. I'm not as good as Tracy, but
I'm walking on sunshine.
Ooh, walking on sunshine. Oh, I'm walking on sunshine.
Anything? No, not yet, Mickey. So you're fine. We're getting started. How you, Marlon, Theus, Tracy, and Anna? Hello, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
Cheers, love.
In case you missed the part where I did say there's a slight issue with the system, so there is going to be a delay. So nobody panic. The system is working, but it's normally not instantaneously. There's like a second or two that goes in. So without further ado, let's get this party started. So let's just go ahead and jump into the beginning of the whole thing. Trump being indicted again.
Time now that the former president has been indicted on criminal charges.
That's right. We just got a federal indictment that was handed down in the D.C. courthouse, downtown Washington, D.C., by the grand jury that's been investigating the former president on his attempts to overturn the 2020 election. It is a 4-count indictment based on public reports that turns out to be accurate. We now know what those charges are. It's a single defendant, just Donald J. Trump, and those 4 counts are conspiracy to defraud the United States. That's when it takes 2 or more people to try and injure or threaten or intimidate somebody trying to exercise a civil right. Now, we just got a copy of the indictment. I haven't read through it here, but presumably one of those theories would be trying to interfere with voters, trying to exercise their right to vote and have that vote be counted. The second count, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. This is 1512 under the obstruction statute, and this has been used in a number of January 6th criminal cases where the defendants have been charged with obstructing an official proceeding that was happening at the United States Capitol on January 6th, attempting to disrupt the certification of the Electoral College votes that was taking place that day. On the third count of the indictment, that is also obstructing or attempting to obstruct an official proceeding similar to what I just explained. And finally, count 4, 241, conspiracy against rights. So there are 4 counts: conspiracy to defraud the United States, 2 counts on obstruction, and a single count on conspiracy against rights. That conspiracy to defraud the United States was one of the charges that was recommended by the House committee that was investigating January 6th, as was the 1512 count, the obstruction charges that are in the indictment.
Okay. What's wrong, Anna? Because I saw you had a confused look on something.
I'd like to hear more about the 4th. I don't know what it meant.
What was the 4th one? Just
conspiracy, something about right? It wasn't making sense.
Hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep going.
I mean, the other ones were pretty straight up defrauding and obstruction. Obstruction should be his middle name by now.
Conspiracy against rights.
So
conspiracy.
people's right to vote, like
so
that.
it's really going back to disenfranchisement. It's a throwback to the Ku Klux Klan laws, following or leading into Jim Crow, like that early. It's like a early 1900s law or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's obstructing the ability to have free, unfettered access to the enterprise of voting. So basically, they're trying to get him for obstruction.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Count 1 is conspiracy to defraud the United States. Count 2 is conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. Count 3 is obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding. And count 4 is conspiracy against rights.
Okay.
And as the lady said, the third count, obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, is what the majority of the time have used against the people on January 6th.
That pretty much defines what they were doing there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, what they did was a terror attack. That's first up, straight up and down. That's what it was. It's politically motivated violence, seeking a political outcome. That's terrorism, right?
Yeah.
But I think what a lot of times people miss is because it has such a soft title, obstructing a official proceeding. They're like, well, what does that mean? What, they stood outside and they blocked them from going in, so it sounds like a little thing, but it's a really big thing, because you're literally trying to stop the transition of power. Right? Now, technically, they could get you for this if you decided to bust in the doors when they're trying to hold a vote and you're just loud. Technically, they could do that. But this is like one of those catch-all kind of things. So it's a big deal. I think it carries like a 10 to 20 or something like that. It's a, this man ain't going to jail, but whatever.
No. But if all counts are counted, which, by the way, let me say this before I finish, so people will stop getting confused on one thing. If all counts are counted, if he's found guilty of all the counts, it's up to about 50 years. That being said, no, it's not going to be. The courts have a table that they go through for each count of anything that's been found guilty. So the maximum of 50 years is just something that people like to throw out. Ooh, you could get a whole 50. That rarely a judge gives the full count for anything.
Unless you're a poor minority.
Yep.
Because then basically they come to you and they say, okay, I want you to plead, because over 90-something%, like 94, 95% of cases never make it to trial. Right? So they come to you and they're like, I want you to plead to this and we'll give you 8 years. And then you're like, but I'm innocent. I'm not going to plead to that. Well, look, if you don't plead to this, then we're going to go for the maximum, and that's 64 years. Right?
Yep.
So you're 18 years old and they're talking 64 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like they use that against you. But when you're rich and powerful, like in this particular case is the most extreme case, which is Trump, then that threat doesn't work, right? You have high-powered lawyers. You have the office behind you. No matter how bad this goes, you are facing home confinement. Like, that's the worst they can do to you. So, of course, you take it to trial. You take everything to trial. Because, there's no reason for me to cop to anything when I know you will not put me behind bars. Now, Trump is on a train to basically force someone's hand because he keeps being sloppy. But short of Biden revoking his Secret Service protection, because Biden can revoke his Secret Service protection, I believe. So which he would not do, because if he did that, boom, the streets are going to go up in flames, right? So he's stuck there. Trump is playing his angle over there. So then the judges are going to be sitting there like, how many times can I threaten this man and hope he finally listens when this man knows I don't have a lot to do to him?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Let's get to Trump's arraignment. This is almost 3 minutes long, but it kind of fills in a lot of a gap, and it's kind of storytelling, so to speak. I don't know exact words. It's a lot of dramatic things in it, but it gets to the heart of a lot of stuff.
Former President Donald Trump returned to Washington, this time under federal indictment for allegedly trying to steal an election. His motorcade going through the city that symbolizes American democracy, arriving for his third arraignment in less than 5 months. The courthouse just blocks away from where the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol unfolded.
So where Trump's appearance took place today is here at the D.C. District Court. And this is significant. Of course, there's a lot of symbolism, because you could say that he's returning to the scene of the crime to plead not guilty to these 4 charges that he's facing for attempting to overturn the 2020 election.
We have seen former President Trump indicted on other charges before, but this one is super significant. It is indicting him for trying to basically overthrow the results of an election, and we have never seen an American president try to do that before.
Special counsel Jack Smith asserted that the former president was at the center of a criminal scheme built on lies that culminated in the violence that exploded at the Capitol on January 6th. Today, there were detractors and supporters outside the courthouse.
When he entered the courthouse, he went to get processed. There was no mugshot. He was fingerprinted and then entered the courtroom before a magistrate judge. He sat there for about 25 minutes. This is a man who doesn't wait for anything except for in a courtroom.
The former president pleaded not guilty to 4 felony counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States.
It was fueled by lies. Lies by the defendant targeted at obstructing a bedrock function of the U.S. government, the nation's process of collecting, counting, and certifying the results of the presidential election.
Special counsel Jack Smith insists Trump knew he'd lost the election, but tried to overturn the results anyway, determined to remain in power, claiming that he spread lies about fraud, though he knew they were false.
This is not just the most significant indictment to date against Donald Trump. It's one of the most significant indictments from the Department of Justice, maybe ever.
As the charges were read today in the same courthouse where many of the Watergate cases were tried, Trump sat flanked by his lawyers. Special counsel Jack Smith was there in the room looking on at the man he indicted.
You could almost hear a pin drop when he was in there. We were looking over at Trump, looking over at Jack Smith. Trump always wants to know who's in the room. He was observing him, would quickly look away at times. I don't know if that was because Smith then would look back at him. It was unclear. But again, both looking in each other's direction inside that courtroom.
Trump could face a maximum sentence of up to 55 years in prison if found guilty on all the charges he faced today.
Okay, so there's the arraignment. Only side story that I got from that is Trump is a little mad that the judge kept calling him Mr. Trump. President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how hard is it to say former President Trump? I blame the media because they play along with this crap. Right? Mm-hmm. If he was just a normal ex-president, I know that they normally say President Obama, President Bush, right? But they also say former when they talk about them on occasion.
Yeah.
Trump should always be former president because he insists on pretending like he's not. And then, like, part of his defense is going to be like, well, I thought I did win. As far as I know, I am the president, right? He's crazy people. But he's also on tape saying, I'm not the president.
I don't have the authority to
Congress.
do it.
Yeah, he's like, why? Remember when they were talking about Congress defaulting on the debt? And they were like, well, why did you tell them to default on the debt? You didn't tell them to do that when you were president. Well, I was president then.
But we've always referred to, even now, people will say Mr. Biden or Mr. Obama, even while they were president. It's just a common thing. Like,
I agree, but he's disgraced the office. So it's like at that point, you would press the point because he's saying that he's president. Like he's got like a fake Oval Office at a Mar-a-Lago. He's got to have a travelcade wherever he goes.
That would go away with one question. One question. If you are still president, how come you're running again? That's what I would literally ask him. If you're president right now, that means you couldn't run for another term.
Why are you going for your third?
You're not FDR.
Trump would never put himself in an audience where the ability of that question being asked to him would be asked to him. He would never do that.
And no reporter's ever going to ask it. It's just the simplest question in the world.
Remember last week when I showed the what's the governor of Florida? DeSantis. When he went to the wrong group and and thought that he was that popular and how many people was going to vote for him, and out of the whole group, one person raised their hand. So no, people like DeSantis and Trump, they will never put themselves in a situation where any type of question of a pushback would happen.
Which is why I blame media people, because they pick and choose when they want to halfway do their job. And I say halfway because they just don't do the full job, right?
A long time.
It's too easy because Trump himself very rarely. I can't even think of a time that you can find where Trump on. I'm sorry.
I was saying,
hey, Foxy. I can't remember a time since he's lost that Trump said, "I am still president." What he has constantly said is they stole it.
Yes.
It was rigged. He said stuff like that. But I can't recall a time that he has asserted that he is still president, right?
It's been his supporters.
It's been all the people around him.
Yep.
That's what's
so funny to me is he himself has been very careful not to tell that particular lie so that his followers can believe the lie. So his followers believe this lie, but they believed it as truth. Then, now that he's been indicted this last time for these last four, all of a sudden, his followers' story changes to, what, you can't lie?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So either it was a lie back then, and you knew it was a lie, which makes you a liar, or it was a lie back then, you thought it was the truth, and now that you know that it was a lie, you're a liar.
But you're exercising too much logic. To the Trump supporters, it doesn't matter. When he said, I can shoot a person on Fifth Avenue and get away with it, he was not lying.
No.
He could literally shoot somebody, possibly kill them, and his supporters will still be like, well, the man had it coming.
Yep.
What?
And that's because of what I've said many times ago in the past. The thing about Trump is it's not about Trump. It's about what Trump represents for people. He's the vehicle that people are using, and he's almost irrelevant at this point. So he himself is like a small thing now, right? So that's why, okay, you got Trump. Okay, well, it's okay for him to lie, ain't it? Because for them, it was never really about him. They're looking right past him, right? They're looking at, he's giving us empowerment. He is voicing our grievances. He hates who I hate. He's uncontrollable. He's all the rage I wish I could put out there, but I'm not allowed to because, I got a job or I got this or I got that. So he's their vehicle. to let that stuff flow. So once you lock him, well, not lock him up. Once you get him on any of the 78 charges that this fool has, then we'll see what happens.
By the way,
Currently, we still got 2 more to go.
We've got Georgia, we've got New York, right?
Yeah, this dude has as many charges as he has years on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
He's not lying.
It's sad though when you can. I think I was talking to my sister about this, and I got my court cases confused. This is sad when a former president has so many indictments. You are literally getting them confused one with the. This is America. We got to do better. We got to do way better than this. Come on, y'all. Stop this.
We do and we don't, right? Because like I said, Obama, okay, first I'm going to start the Constitution. The Constitution has always been in conflict with the reality of the country, right? So the Constitution is an aspirational document. It's always, we're making room for us to always improve, do better. That's why we have the ability to do amendments. That's why there's, rights have been expanded, all these things. So it's aspirational. We're trying to get better. But the reality of America has always been very, I used to call them conservatives more, but now I call them regressives, right? The regressives are out there and they've always wanted to hold it as far back as they possibly could. That's the reality of America. Yeah. So Obama was like the Constitution. Obama was aspirational. People all around the country, people who have any number of views, they saw a handsome, beautiful family, well-spoken, highly educated, relatively benign. Like he's the magical Negro that America likes to hold up. And they were like, hey, I'm gonna vote for this guy. But it was all aspirational. Because as soon as they got him, the moment they got him, the racism came out. The bigotry started flowing heavier. Everything has been downhill since that man was elected president, and it's not his fault. It's because of what America is. And then when he was on his way out, what did they put in? The very opposite.
Yeah, because we're patting ourselves on the back. We did elect a black president. We're not. Look at us. Some of us voted for him. But this is sad. I'm literally sitting here confusing court cases because I thought that this was in connection to the case that's going on in Mar-a-Lago. Nope.
But what's really sad about that, Tracy?
It's sad.
What's really sad about that, though, is it is a fair conclusion to reach that this man has committed the crimes in which he stands accused. Okay? That's a fair interpretation if you're just looking at the law and his actions. Okay? Right. But what makes this so messed up is because he broke so many laws, the fact that you're trying to hold him accountable looks like you're weaponizing something, right? It's like accountability to these people is punishment. And so they are looking at it and they're like, well, we can flip this, we can spin this, and we can just say it's being weaponized, when in fact the man is just being held accountable for so many things that he did, right? So it feeds both sides of the narrative. It feeds our side that says, look at this criminal nut job, right? And then it feeds their side because it feeds their victim mentality. And then here's the thing about the media, and I drop it, that really upsets me. All of them do this, especially MSNBC, right? They get out there and they don't call things for what they are, right? Like they say Trump is the apparent nominee for the Republican Party, and he is now going to be going through all these court cases and blah, blah, blah. How can you do that? When the reality is he did not announce for president until after he was notified he was under investigation.
Yep, he sure did.
So they're not going after him because he's running. They're going after him because of what he did. And then he chose to run to try to get the heat off of them. But these news medias are real slow to point that little bitty, it's a little thing.
They know it. It doesn't care. Trump, at the end of the day, Trump makes them money. They get more money from advertising. They get more eyes on
we talked about
and the Democratic Party makes money off of it.
Exactly, because now you got somebody to fundraise against. Don't let him go in because look at this.
We talked about that in the Messenger a while back when the first time when New York was going to indict them Tuesday, or now it's Tuesday. So when is the indictment coming down and everything else? And I said in the Messenger, they're going to talk about this story all day long. And sure enough, they did. The only thing they changed was the people sitting at the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the analyst. And the analyst was a former lawyer.
Breaking news.
A former prosecutor. And this was a former DA. And this is an analyst from here. It was the same story, but you just changed people.
And you remember CNN and MSNBC were crying broke. They were crying broke the first 2 years of Biden's presidency, right? There was all kinds of turmoil everywhere. They were cutting off shows. They were changing out hosts. They were doing all this stuff because they couldn't make enough money. And then the moment he announced, all that went away.
They like,
because he makes money for everybody.
Everybody.
All right, everybody, let's move on. So,
except us, we do this for free.
Yeah. And for your entertainment / education. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm playing these two videos back to back because, yeah, it just goes back to back. So the judge did give Donald Trump a warning while in court during the arraignment.
What a fascinating thing just happened in this courtroom. The judge bringing down the hammer reminding it is a crime to influence a juror, the judge tells Trump. Well, what a fascinating thing when you were talking about someone who is running for federal office, who is talking about this case and has a First Amendment right to talk about this case. And in a sense, everyone listening in Washington, D.C., in that federal district, is a potential juror. How do you enforce something like that? And is it even fair?
Yeah,
it's not going house to house and saying, that we know would be a wrong influence. But speaking your case and saying your piece and federal jurors are listening?
It's one of those things, it's easy for the judge to admonish, and she should admonish the defendant not to try and influence jurors. But I'm sure even she is thinking in her head, what is this even going to look like? Because Donald Trump will not stop posting on social media. We know that. He will continue to try to influence people who may vote for him. So he's going to be speaking about this case. And I don't think any judge would try to tell him that he can't speak about this case. He has a First Amendment right to at least speak about his case if he wants to. Is it a good idea? I would advise him, no, do not talk about your case. Do not post on social media. But he has had a lot of very, very talented lawyers who have been completely unsuccessful in getting him to stop posting on social media. So he's going to do what he's going to do. And if he crosses the line, prosecutors will, of course, be watching.
Okay, so before anybody says something, there's your warning. Less than 24 hours later.
In a bulletin edition of the Countdown podcast, if you go after me, Trump posts on social media Friday afternoon, I'm coming after you. This comes almost exactly 24 hours after the judge who let him leave custody on pretrial release warned him to commit no other crimes. And 1, it is a crime to intimidate witness. 2, it is a crime to retaliate against anyone. 3, it is a crime to threaten anyone who has information about his case. 4, it is a crime to otherwise obstruct the administration of justice.
Now, let me say this before we say something, because I want everybody to get the full content. And I also want to keep you in mind that what I'm going to tell you was a Trump spokesperson, not Trump. The Trump spokesperson came back on whatever that platform is. I keep forgetting, True Social or whatever. Yeah, whatever. and was saying that Trump was talking to the rhinos and the super PACs and the Democrat and our oligarchies, or in other words, they was backtracking already. His statement. I wasn't threatening. I was talking to the people who I feel is messing with the American people. And blah,
no,
blah,
not you, man. I was talking about them.
Not you specifically. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the group.
This is like arguing with a kindergartner.
Stop insulting kindergartners. They did not do anything to deserve to be insulted by that person. I'm gonna be nice today. Be nice today.
So that is in a nutshell. What we're looking for is a gag order. I think that's what Thea was saying, that the judge does have the ability to put a gag order on someone. They don't. This is a high profile case, and they don't want to jump to just straight up, we know you're going to talk Trump, and we know you're going to do everything that we said we told you not to do, but we're trying to treat you like the human being that everybody of your support group think you are. So we're not going to put a gag order on you off the bat. Even though I know somewhere along the lines, we're going to have to. But we cannot use past history for the reasoning for putting a gag order on you. Because
I think their biggest...
Yeah, we don't want to look biased. So we don't want to
I think their biggest fear is that how do you enforce it? Enforcement is the biggest problem when it comes to Trump. How do you enforce it?
It's only one way you enforce it. It's literally only one way, and they're not going to do it.
And in a way they almost can't, because he has Secret Service protection.
Yep.
So now you're going to place two federal agencies at odds with each other. So that has to go through a court battle. Okay. So you can't get anything to happen for who knows how long. Like, they know what the right course of action is, but they know that they need this trial to move with as few delays as possible. And if you try to say we're going to put you on house arrest, that's going to go through the courts. If you say that we're going to put a gag order on you, that's going through the courts. Like, anything you try to do to control this man is going to create a new delay. And they know some delays are coming, but they're trying to minimize which ones get there.
I mean, you see it coming. That's what Trump does. Since the beginning of his time going to court. Delay. That's his thing. Yeah, you can bring an indictment on me. I'm going to delay it. They already right now wants to move the case out of Washington. And of all places,
West Virginia.
I need all you no labels people to be listening and using your big brain. Use your big brain.
They don't have a brain.
Who do they say they want to use for the no labels candidate? Manchin. Who has been a thorn in Biden's side and a tool for the Republican and conservatives? Manchin. Who does Trump then? This is just him picking at people. Trump then says, I can't get a fair trial in the area I committed the crimes in. So, and I don't want to go to Virginia. That's just as bad as being in D.C. I don't want to go to Maryland, because there are a lot of military people there and they're mad at me. West Virginia. I'll go over there. Please. I love the dude. The dude is a great entertainer. He's wonderful at that.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one option that you have, and like they said, you can't do it. I mean, we all know it's jail time. That would be
They
literally
won't
the
do it.
only thing that they won't do it.
Not
One,
chance.
MAGA's gonna act like a plumb near fool. You put Trump in handcuffs, it's over. It's over. Somebody's gonna get injured.
I can't wait for the Georgia thing when the mug shot come out. That's gonna be.
He gonna just put it on. See,
Nah,
that's what
it ain't gonna happen.
It won't, because Kemp is gonna
It won't happen.
Kemp is gonna do something to block it. I just see it. If
Well, they probably can block the release of the picture, but you can't block the taking of the picture.
Well, that's just it, Marlon. At the federal level, how many times has he now been booked? 3 times, and nothing is leaked out. He's been booked 3 times.
But there was no mugshot those 3 times either.
One is state.
Is one of them? Oh, because the first one's state.
Yeah,
right.
New York, they didn't take a mugshot.
Federal.
They just
New York didn't do it.
The prosecutor
The 2 federals
chose
didn't
to
do it.
not do it.
Yeah. So this guy can talk all the noise he wants to grandstand and get ready for his next election run. But when it comes down to the wheeling and the dealing and the negotiations and all that stuff, I doubt, maybe I could be wrong, I doubt he's going to be the one that gets the mugshot so that he can put basically put something on his wall. I doubt that he's going to be able to do that one, because I think that'll be negotiated away, just like it's always been negotiated away.
I don't think he gets a
mugshot. Do what you need to do, book the dude, and let's move on.
But if they do get a mugshot, I do want to see it. I don't think it'll be one, but if they do get one, wink, wink. Wink, wink. I don't know how this got away. Wink, wink. I'm just saying.
If you're listening,
but they're reasoning for not.
Why would you want to see it?
Because it gives me, I don't know. Look, if somebody who's totally innocent has to have a mugshot, then somebody that I believe that is truly guilty should have one.
Here's the reason why they don't do a mugshot for Trump and why they do a mugshot for other people, so to speak. This was their reasoning. It's because Trump is a high-profile individual, so who does not know what Trump looked like?
But I'm just saying, if anybody's listening, I'm just saying.
You want somebody to
Johnson, you got that?
My email is tracymediallc@gmail.com. That's my email.
Every time somebody's shoulder, wait a minute, is that Trump? I can't believe that's Trump. Click. I can't believe that's Trump. That's amazing. Click. Wow.
Turn it aside.
And then remember, every time a different celebrity gets in trouble, all the Baldwin boys, right? They all got mugshots. We've all seen them.
Sure.
Right? It's just a matter of he's the president, and they're protecting the office of the president.
They're protecting the office, blah, blah, blah. But if you take a mugshot, all I'm saying is my email is tracymediallc@gmail.com. That's it. I'm not saying release it. I'm not saying break the law. All I'm saying is, if it gets in your hands, remember they're not paying you enough. Now, I don't have any money to pay you because I don't got $20 to my name. But I need more subscribers.
If you're going to leak it, just know that I got the bucket.
I'm just saying the water gonna drip anyway. It's got to go somewhere. tracymediallc@gmail.com.
Let's move on, everybody.
With no E. Don't put an E in my name because I won't get it that way.
I want you to make sure you get to the right email.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, because this is the little sprinkle. So the sprinkle in the middle that I said I was going to do. Please don't say nothing, Trump. F you, I'm going to say something.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the deal. This DA right now, well, special counsel. I don't know why I keep saying DA. This special counsel is spooky. He's playing the long term because he knew Trump can't help himself but to say something. Mm-hmm. So it didn't even take him 24 hours to do this.
All right, we got some breaking news that came out just at the top of the hour, and it is this document in which the special counsel's office has made a request to the judge in the indictment of Donald Trump, in the case against Donald Trump, for a protective order for the documents, the discovery of the documents that are required that they hand over to the defense. Here's the gist of the argument. It's several pages long, but the government writes to the judge. On August 2nd, the government sent a proposed protective order to counsel for the defendant. Defense counsel subsequently responded on August 4th, today, with a different proposed protective order that did not, in the government's estimation, protect numerous categories of sensitive materials, including grand jury materials and search warrant affidavits. Continues later to say, and in recent days regarding this case, the defendant has issued multiple posts, either specifically or by implication, including the following, which defendant posted just hours ago. And it is this Truth Social post that Donald Trump posted in all caps, in which he says, "If you go after me, I'm coming after you." The government continues, if the defendant were to begin issuing public posts using details or, for example, grand jury transcripts obtained in discovery here, it could have a harmful, chilling effect on witnesses or adversely affect the fair administration of justice in this case. I'm going to pick that up in a second. But if you believe Donald Trump, America's prosecutors are doing what he does, thinking always and only about him.
Prosecutor Alvin Bragg of New York, who campaigned on the fact that he would get President Trump. District Attorney in Atlanta, who is doing everything in her power to indict me. A special prosecutor named Jack Smith is only looking at Trump.
I did go crazy. That was not an editing mistake that I did, that I put that ending in. I put that ending in because that's what he's campaigning on. That everybody that prosecuted on, he is taking credit. You know, one of those, what is it called when you try to my brain is not working. When you try to compliment somebody but you're really not complimenting them.
Not a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, backhand. He's backhandedly trying to take credit for them winning whatever election that they won to get into the position that they're in, because they're campaigning on getting me. That their whole focus is on me. That the whole Justice Department is on me. That the DA in New York campaign on getting me. That the Georgia DA would not have his job, would not have her job, because they're all coming after me. That's his campaigning cry, so to speak, of everybody is coming after me. Woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. So that's why I put that ending in. Now, I'm going to go backwards to go forwards because I didn't want to miss the point of me saying the DA, the special counsel, knew Trump was going to open his mouth because Trump can't help it. It's literally in his DNA. It's almost like a toddler that has to have the last word, or a wife, but y'all didn't hear me say that. That has to have the last word.
Well, I'm going to sleep on the couch tonight.
That just has to have the last word. She's not in the room, so whatever.
You pulling a Trump, just being reckless.
But he has to have the last word, and he has to be the alpha male, even though he cries constantly of everything. So the DA, special counsel, I don't know why I keep calling the DA. The special counsel knew. Jack Smith knew. By the way, I'm really side-eye looking at you like, dude, is your name really Jack Smith? That sounds like the
why the man name can't be Jack Smith? Because Trump said it ain't.
One, I can spell it, and two, I can pronounce it. Pay. Keep your name simple.
You would kill somebody at the hotel to have a affair. What's your name? Jack Smith.
It's just generic.
It's just the most
Now,
generic name. But I
will
want to get
say,
on it.
if we play in the land of with conspiracy theories, then yeah, they could say because he used to prosecute people at The Hague, which are the most dangerous people you could possibly deal with. Maybe he has an alias, but he was a prosecutor before he became that. So, and that was his name was Jack back when he was in law school, according to his peers. So, I think we're going to let that one go.
Hey, Parker.
Hi, Parker.
Hey, Parker.
I was emailing Parker.
So we find out his name is actually like, Jake Johnson. And then we were like, oh, Jack Smith was better.
Really?
I just want a name that I can both pronounce and spell.
You got
he
it.
meets both
You got
qualifications. Because
So
I surely
let me
mess
say
up
this
people's
quickly
names.
so we can move on to my point. So the special counsel Jack Smith knew Trump was going to do this. This is not per se a gag order that he's going after. What he has said is, I want to protect everybody by making sure that Trump don't find out the identity of the people that's maybe witnesses, maybe going after him and everything else. And it happens to get on the internet. And believe me, why would he do that? Because Trump has done it before.
Yeah.
Trump has released
witness intimidation is Trump's forte.
The original one was Obama.
Yeah.
The address of Obama. So he has a history of doing this, and that's what Jack Smith is protecting. Now, let me go forward now. So why I had to make sure that I put in that last bit about everybody's coming after Trump, and they this is the only reason why they was elected into that position, because they promised that that I'm going to go after Trump. Well, this guy put a wrench in it. Mind you, I'm just putting this out there for the people who are on the fence. I ain't going after you MAGA people because whatever. I'm not wasting my time with you. But remember what I always say, there are people who watch our show who is on the fence or brand new or whatever. I just want to put this out there. So here's why that's a bunch of crap from Trump.
Okay, let's evaluate that for a second. The day Donald Trump was indicted, the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, was at a community block party in Philadelphia for the National Night Out Against Crime. Yesterday, the day Donald Trump was arraigned, the Justice Department announced 6 guilty pleas in a horrific case of racist police abuse in Mississippi. The Department of Justice has 115,000 employees. 3 of them were representing the government in the case against Donald Trump. The Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, has been busy working on multiple cases, including the indictment of a New York pedicab driver for bribery and multiple indictments in different murder investigations. The Trump case is just one of many that his office is working on, and it's one of many very similar cases that he's prosecuted. In Georgia, where Fani Willis is expected to announce charging decisions in her investigation into efforts to overturn the election in that state, she told reporters yesterday, as she was at an event at an Atlanta technical college, that her office has 380 employees and is managing multiple high-profile cases at the same time. These prosecutors are not like posters on Twitter or whatever it's called now. They're not interested in a media battle with Donald Trump. They're professionals who want to win cases in court, and to do that, they have to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt. The special counsel, Jack Smith, has brought an indictment against Donald Trump for his actions leading up to and including January 6th, which means that Jack Smith and his team believes that they can successfully convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt of the facts in that indictment. This is too big and risky a case to wing it.
So that's why I wanted to throw that in there, is this is a high profile criminal investigation / court case. But it's still, at its core, a court case. They are not putting all their men and women right at the forefront to make sure that no. Trump did something wrong. We should open a case against him. We should open an investigation against him. We found that you did create crimes. We're prosecuting. just like we're prosecuting anybody else after we investigate them. So for Trump to keep constantly saying that everybody is coming after me, no. You're a court.
He wants to cry political persecution.
Right.
So he can get stupid people to give him campaign donations.
Yep.
Why is this man leading in Republican polls and he's convicted not once, not twice, but 3 times? Are you stupid?
Indicted, not convicted.
Indicted, convicted to me is, well, yeah, you're right.
It's very big
He's
difference,
innocent. He's guilty until, he's innocent until he's proven guilty in a court of law.
Can't even get it out your mouth.
Can't even say it straight. I'm trying to be nice. But
so here's the history. If everybody keep it up, and I'm talking literally to the people that's on the fence, literally the people who are getting into this and don't understand what's going on. The word is unprecedented. We have used that word time and time again. So let's keep score. It is unprecedented that a person would get impeached once. Unprecedented that he got impeached twice.
It's not the first one.
Huh?
Not the first one.
He was impeached twice.
We've had other presidents.
We've had other.
What I'm saying. It's not.
No, I said that.
Yeah.
He said once.
No, I said it's kind of unprecedented. It ain't like every president that went in there got impeached. It's
we know Bill Clinton got impeached.
And Nixon.
No, Nixon resigned before he could get impeached.
Right.
Okay. So one.
Yeah, Bill Clinton. No, Andrew Jackson.
There have been.
I'm just saying.
I get it. So it's unprecedented that somebody gets impeached twice.
Twice.
4 years. 4 years.
It's the one term, yeah.
For one term. It's unprecedented that somebody would get indicted after leaving office. It's unprecedented that somebody get indicted on a federal level. So sorry. It's unprecedented that somebody gets indicted on a state level. It's unprecedented that a person get indicted once on a federal level. It's unprecedented that the person get indicted twice on a federal level. And lo and behold, sometime in the next couple of weeks, it's unprecedented that a person get indicted, be it a former president himself, get indicted twice by 2 different states.
He's a history maker. Get it straight. This man makes history. He's
being set up.
And that's my argument.
His name will go down in the history books.
That's my argument. In 2 statements I want to make before we go to first. One, dude, everybody's not coming after you because the federal government don't go after nobody unless they know beyond a shadow of a doubt they're gonna win.
Well, they went after Malcolm X and Dr. King.
Yeah. I said the federal government.
Okay.
Yeah, because the federal government, because the federal government did go after Malcolm and Martin because they did wiretaps, they did COINTEL, they did frame jobs. Yeah. They did the same thing they did to the Black Panther Party. So the federal government does do all those things. They just didn't charge them.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, they didn't charge
them. They killed them, but they didn't charge them.
Yeah.
I apologize. The federal government does not charge you unless they know they're going to win. Trust me.
Not to be technical, but I'm be technical. And jury,
they have a 94%. They got a 94% conviction rate.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna work. He not get y'all. Yeah.
Federal don't play. They get what they know they can win.
And Tracy, you brought up the other thing that I want to talk about. People, please stop saying nothing's going to happen to this guy.
But it's not.
We're literally there. I want you to go get a mathematician. Go find you a mathematician and tell them to look at all the counts from New York, all the counts from the 2 federal cases and look at all the counts that may be coming from Georgia and tell me he's going to scot-free through all
I
of
didn't
them.
say he was going to be found innocent, but I'm saying he's not going to prison. They're not going to dress him in an orange jumpsuit.
But that's different.
That's very different.
You're saying if he doesn't go to prison, he's not getting punished. And that's
he's
not
probably
right.
not. He'll get a home monitor. He'll get one of those little ankle bracelet things that he'll get parole. There's nothing bad going to happen to him.
How do you say that? That's wait. Okay. Because this is for the audience out there. Okay. Because I was guilty of this as well before all this stuff kind of came down. Where I would say, nothing's going to happen or whatever, right? This is going back months or whatnot. The reality is we were wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? Because being charged with multiple felonies, that's something happening.
That's something happening.
Having hundreds of your foot soldiers locked up, some of them getting charges that ain't nobody had in many, many years. That's something. The fact that all this stuff is happening is something. Right? Now what people are really saying is they don't think he's going to go to jail.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
My thing is not going to jail. We don't know if we're right about that. He could be the one he could be the one. But let's say he doesn't go to jail.
Has always been. Do you notice that those same people keep moving the goalposts?
Yeah,
First
they always
of all,
move.
you said there was going to be no investigation against Trump for what he did. There's an open investigation on what Trump did.
DOJ isn't doing anything.
He's not going to be indicted on nothing. Now they're indicting on him. Well, he's not going to go to jail. I mean, come on. You keep moving.
But I get where they're coming from.
Because
I get where they're coming from.
I get it.
Because people want to see that justice still applies for somebody. But the reality is these people, and I used to be one of them. The problem is you're not letting history inform what you're saying, and you're not allowing new information to change your perspective or your opinion. History. Go ahead.
No, in my own defense, would I love to see Trump go to prison if he's guilty? Absolutely, positively, yes. Here's why I don't think it'll happen. Hate me if you must. Especially if Biden loses the upcoming election. And the Georgia case, Kemp is going to give him a pardon. New York, he may not get Kemp, the governor of Georgia.
He can't.
It's a federal case? I thought it was just a state case.
No, it's a state case. But here in Georgia, because we've had so many issues of corruption over the last 50 years, the governor does not have the authority to grant a pardon. Can't do it.
Wow.
Well, I didn't know that. But here's the other reason why I don't think we're going to. Let's just say Trump goes to prison. Okay. That means that President Biden would have to take away his privilege of having lifetime because he's still entitled to lifetime security. Right now, he's still entitled to it. That means he's going to have that taken away. And if it's not taken away, that means what you're going to do? Put Secret Service in jail? I mean, it doesn't make practical sense to me.
But that's still different. So
and my other reason, either Biden himself or the next president is going to pardon him. He's getting a presidential pardon. I can see it coming. I see it
for the good of the country, right?
Yep.
But I don't think a pardon is coming unless a Republican wins. That's first off.
I think Biden is sure to do it.
Biden is not going to.
No,
the good of the country. Let's put the past behind us.
Biden.
What basis do you have to say Biden would do that?
Wouldn't even help his son. His own.
That's
son,
because that would just.
Blood. You think he's going to help Trump? Come on.
He didn't help his son for several different reasons, but no.
But are those reasons greater or lesser than the man who committed treason against the country?
I'm saying my opinion. My opinion is either Biden is going to do it or the next Republican president is going to do it.
And I agree with you on the Republican president thing, but that's where I come back to your camp that, I'm like this. Vote for who you want to vote for. Own what you're doing. right? So all these cats who are talking about I'm gonna do third party or I'm gonna do whatever they're gonna do, whatever the Cornel West people, the no labels people, whatever, you know, regardless of what your political beliefs are, you know how votes are counted and you know how the Electoral College acts and you know how close the various districts are, which then affects how it goes to the Electoral College. You guys know this stuff. So every vote that you do, and I can't stand the Democrats, y'all. Come on, let's not pretend we're not going to play, eeny, meeny, this is second grade logic. You know, though, as you chip away in the various districts and the various little areas that you close the margins there, which affects the Electoral College count, which then could give this guy an opportunity. So I'm all for third parties rising. I'm all for independent votes. I am definitely all for the dissolution of the Democratic Party as we know it. But the Republican Party is a clear and present threat. I don't care how you feel about it. I know you're tired of hearing the most important election of our lifetime. Well, if you look at it X's and O's rational, it is. Because if you don't fix the problem, it gets worse. So it was bad before, didn't get fixed. It's worse now. Statement still holds true. So if the math is, do you prefer, now do you want, because that's an unfair question. Right. Do you prefer Donald Trump as your president, or do you prefer Biden? That's the reality of the situation. So you cast your lot how you choose, but own it. Right? Just own it. Own everything that comes with it. Own all the consequences that come with it. I have to own the fact that I voted for old Goofy Joe. And this stuff that he's did that I'm not a fan of, but overall I think he's done a good job. But the party is corrupt, and I admit that. Mm-hmm. Then you have the other side, though. It's not even a close comparison. You got one candidate who's too old, but has brought positive economics, has stopped the COVID onslaught, has restored international favor, has restored, who is trying to protect as best he can anyway, human and individual rights for women and trans people across the country. He himself is doing those things as president. On the other hand, you got this dude who led a coup against his own government.
And probably is going to win re-election.
Raped a woman.
Yes.
Right? And still, what we get back, he's too old.
And the funny thing,
so I'm gonna go vote for this philosopher, right? I mean, I love Cornel West as a civil rights icon. I love Cornel West as an intellectual. Mm-hmm. I can't sit there and listen to him talk for too long because he drives me nuts. But I love everything that man stands for and he pushes for. Can you honestly say that that's the dude you want going out doing your international affairs and negotiating, hostage releases and determining your war policy and controlling what happens on Wall Street? And you really think Cornell's a cat for that?
Trump, absolutely.
Yeah, because
over Biden. You line him up against Biden and you say he can do the job better than Biden?
Absolutely.
With a straight face?
I'm giving you the straightest face that I can give you.
Explain that one.
This way. I'll put it to you this way.
How this turns into a Cornel West slaughter, I don't know, but
because we're talking about third party.
But that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying. What I was saying was, I think, in my opinion, that either Biden is going to pardon Trump because it's in the good of the country and we need to look forward, or the next Republican president that could very well be Trump, and he just pardons
himself. And that's how we got onto this conversation. Because in order for a Republican to become the next president, something has to weaken the numbers enough for it to happen, and it doesn't take much because the Electoral College is very thinly tilted.
And this is why we don't get him, because we keep voting the same. Why don't things change?
No,
because we vote the exact same way.
That's a platitude. That's not a plan.
That's not a platitude. That's the facts. People literally
No, it's
said,
not.
"Oh, I'll vote
What
for
have we
Biden.
got?
I don't like either Biden or Trump, but I'm going to vote for Biden because he's not Trump." You're getting
Is that
literally
not the
the
same
same
thing you're
thing.
saying? Is that not the same thing that you're saying when you advocate for a third party?
No, because what I'm saying is, you've tried this and it ain't worked. You tried that and it didn't work. Why don't you try this, a third option?
Right, but that's like me saying you've tried pizza and you didn't like that, and you tried a cheeseburger and you didn't like that. So here, go chew on a branch. Right? I mean, it's not the same. They're not even in the same argument.
And
So you say we've tried this and we've tried that. Let's try something different. And I'm just saying, have you done the merits of what the different is?
And that's why
How
we
is that
can't get
government?
anything,
How
because
is
we
that
have
third
people
party?
that keep voting the same way, the same, and expecting
Let me
different
close
results.
it out. Let me close this out real quick.
People don't want to use logic, man.
Let me close this out. I've said this before on this show. There's a group of people that's trying to keep you on the ground, Democrats, while there's another group of people that's trying to bury you, Republicans. This is what, now I'm going to put it in perspective.
And another one promising you we can make you fly and give you candy.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever promised that. Come on, stop. Now you can criticize third parties, but that one, nah, I can't even let that fly.
Now this is why
What is it? What are you offering? Not you. But what are they offering?
Hold on, this is what I said about trying to bury you. There's a candidate out there. It wasn't told to me who it was, and I don't want to know. Eventually, one day I'll look it up. But this guy wants to change the Constitution. He wants to change the Constitution where the vote age goes from 18 to 21. From 18 to 25. From 18 to 25, unless you can pass a civics test.
Oh yes, the poll tax. Let's bring it back to the literacy test.
Vivek Swami, I think it's his name. He's the one that says
Vivek.
This is what I mean. I am not an advocate for the Democrats. I haven't been an advocate for the Democrats in a freaking long time. But for people to keep thinking it's the same thing, two-sided coin or whatever that phrase is, I'm sorry. I do not understand what you're seeing when you have a group of people who wants to bury you.
And that's the
saying something very different.
It is exactly the same thing. Joe Biden has continued. Children are still in cages to this day. Who's president right now?
The source. Where you get that from? Where you get that from?
C-SPAN, because I don't watch regular news.
No, you didn't. Where you get it from?
No, I don't watch regular news.
If you really look at this is the thing, and this is really going to be a negative on Biden.
What the Democrats like to do. Well, you got to vote for us. If you don't vote the way we tell you, then you're just wasting your vote.
No, I'm just saying stand up for what you're voting for. But what I'm saying is on the border thing, this will actually be a strike against Biden. But see, where I get frustrated with people is they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Like with Biden, the border crossings are down by greater than 50%. That's from the border. They're saying it, right? Mm-hmm. There's a Republican down there, Abbott, who is literally trying to make the border guards push people back into the water or deny them water or deny them food. He's got floating things with barbed wire wrapped around them to keep people from trying to cross the Rio Grande. That's a Republican doing that. What is Biden doing? He's working with Mexico to reduce the influx of them and pushing back against that as best he can because he doesn't have authority over the states. That's the reality of what Biden's doing. But here's the negative part that actually will help you anti-Biden people out there. Because I wish you would be mad at him for the right reason and not some BS you picked up from some Jimmy Dore-ish type stuff. Here's what Biden's doing that's really messed up at the border. Biden struck a deal with Mexico to keep the people from even reaching the border.
Yep.
And Mexico is able to do whatever the hell they want to keep the migrants from making it to the border.
No.
That's some dirty, dark stuff.
They are willing in Mexico because I want to just make sure that everybody understands this. They're willing to do whatever it takes from the Mexican side of the border to keep them going. Whatever it takes.
Yes, we are talking the indoctrination camps and all. I mean, the concentration camps and the horrible treatment and the rapes and the beatings and all of that. Mexico is doing that to people who are non-Mexican who are crossing into their country trying to get to America at the behest of the U.S. government. Not necessarily to do the negative acts, but it's like, we don't want to know what you're doing. Just keep them from coming over here. Right. So people should be mad at Biden for that. But instead, they're mad at him talking about, well, he's not controlling the border. You're not looking at
the border. I could talk about offshore drilling. I could talk about the millions of people dropped off of Medicare. I could just keep going and go. I mean, how long do you want this conversation?
Was Biden the one for the Medicare?
It was his executive order that dropped millions of people from Medicaid. He's the one that did it.
Let's tell the whole story.
No, the whole story is
because of the COVID. That's because of the COVID bill, right?
He dropped the COVID emergency. Then somebody offer health care,
right? COVID. That was from the COVID relief, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Are we still in the COVID emergency?
I would say yes, but most people are going to say no.
Because we're not. So
it's okay to drop millions of people from their health care. It's okay.
False flag.
No, this is a vote blue no matter who type of argument. That's all I'm hearing. Is vote blue no matter who, and I'm done with it.
Well, that's not what I'm saying, so I don't know what you're listening to. What I'm saying to you is, if someone passes a temporary measure and then the temporary measure expires, we need to be looking at Congress and saying, why the hell did you let this expire without putting something permanent in place? That's where we should be looking. But instead, we're looking at the president like we are a bunch of 5-year-olds.
Because he's the president. He's the one that had the executive order, not Congress.
Tracy, he is a president.
This all I'm gonna say. 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 This is a vote blue no matter who.
Don't know how it works.
You
out here misinforming people, man. Come on.
Literally said
I'm not misinforming people. I'm literally saying he's the one that had
your own story.
I'm not making up any stories. The facts, which is what I am talking about, fact. He could have extended the COVID emergency to keep people on Medicare and say, hey, Congress, come up with a solution. I agree with that. Congress should come up with a solution, not the Affordable Care Act, because that's garbage. But okay, I'll just leave it.
Not the Affordable Care Act. You just advocated for the COVID, the thing being reinstated or kept going, which I would agree
to keep people on Medicare.
Anything to help take care of people is good. But I'm talking about, you just made that point for the COVID relief. But then the Affordable Care Act did the exact same thing off of what the original situation was. It wasn't ideal. It wasn't the best thing, but more people got coverage out of the ACA than had it before. But you against the ACA, but you for this temporary relief. It's inconsistent.
That is no, I'm gonna disagree. I'm just gonna disagree.
Of course you are, but tell me how.
I'm trying to.
I love you. I mean, you just be talking random stuff, man.
No, what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. Again, we talked about this last week. We literally talked about this last week. When it's your guy, you want them to be a dictator. When it's the other guy, do you remember the Congress, the Senate, and the House, and everybody else? Please. The president cannot make anything, even with an executive order. Do you know how long the executive order can go into effect? As long as he's in office.
Yes, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that, Harlan. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I am saying, of course, is facts. Fact is, he could have extended that. He could have extended that order until, hey, Congress, come up with something. Whether it's expanded the awful Affordable Care Act, whatever you want to do.
Work, though.
But he has
unfortunately
control.
This is why me
personally,
I'm not
saying that,
I'm done with the Democrats. They can do whatever they want to do.
Then be done with them, then be done with. We don't want you to vote anyway. This is what I'm saying.
No, because I mean you're gonna just break up primaries anyway. So I mean, come on, y'all closing y'all own primaries.
So why even advocate for anything in the political sphere if it's all broken and rigged?
But you're also trying to say
Why advocate for anything?
I want you to do something until a Republican-led Congress who is determined to make sure that you don't have a second term come up with something.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example, and then I'm absolutely done with this because I'm not getting anywhere, and we gonna just agree to disagree. The president, who, and we said that I wish it not to advertise my own show, but yesterday I talked with Alan, who is with the student loan debt forgiveness, and he mentioned something to me that I wasn't even aware of. He said to me, did you know that Trump, not Biden, not Obama, not Reagan, not Bush, not Clinton, but Trump forgave loans of veterans? Not once, but he did it twice. No arguments. Which there shouldn't be. Veterans should have their debts forgiven. He didn't forgive 10,000 to 20,000. He just forgave them. And that's all I'll say.
Perfect. So I agree with you that the veterans should have had relief. And the reason why they had relief is because it's something the Republicans were also okay with, because their king said, let's do it. That's one.
Yeah,
Number
that's the
two,
problem.
it comes from a different part of the budget in a different form of authority. Because he was able to use part of the Defense Authority or whatever to do some of that. But either way, it should have happened. It just should have happened, and and I agree with you, right? Student loans, for those who make the argument, student loans should be forgiven, and that Biden can just write an executive order. Okay, so he wrote the executive order, and what happened immediately? It went to the courts, who then shot it down. Okay, so it's all about who you're up against after the first round. See, the first round is writing the executive order and sending it down the pipe. After that, you are subject to Congress and you are subject to the Supreme Court. So the same thing that they did there, they looked at it and said, you do not have the authority to do this under these terms and blah, blah, blah. And what did Biden's team do? They waited for the Supreme Court to make this decision. Once they made that decision, they were able to make a whole nother plan, because now they know how to work around what you just told them to do, because you just gave them the parameters to do so. Yes. With this dovetails very well with the argument for the executive order for the COVID relief. Okay, he could go ahead and try to extend that, but the foundation of it is built on the COVID emergency. Well, once the COVID emergency is no longer being sustained by Congress or the president, then there's no strength for it once it gets to the courts. So the moment he tried to do that, the courts would have went in and struck that down as well. Mm-hmm. Then the states are still sitting on billions of dollars from COVID relief expressly for the purpose of providing care to people across the nation. And the states have chosen not to do it. So even if he had kept it going, the money can go out there, but the states are still getting in the way of getting the money to the people.
That part I will agree with.
So it's like,
looking at you, Alabama.
So it's like, I'm with. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm really against a lot of the things that people are saying, but I'm not actually against where people want to go. I am so frustrated with there's no path that people are talking like. They're talking like it's another world. Like these other obstacles don't exist if we just have good intentions. That's like I love Cornel West, but that's one of his biggest things is his optimism and his audacity to hope and love. And I love that about a person. Okay, but we've already had one person come down and sell us hope. We've already had that.
Who?
I'm saying Obama, his whole thing was selling hope.
Okay, I'll accept that argument. I'll accept it for this discussion. I'll accept it.
It was literally his campaign. The audacity of hope.
That was Jesse Jackson, but
okay, it was two. Keep hope alive. Anyway, everybody, we got to stop because we are way over the first hour. And thank you very much for this panel because y'all have given me a lot. I have been
This
slacking.
is a good conversation, and it actually needs to continue.
So for everybody who keeps saying, I try to tell y'all some of the emails I get without telling you some of the emails I get. So the people who keep constantly calling this a echo chamber, yeah. I want you to look at this video and try to call us an echo chamber. Okay. Oh, don't worry. I'm back in full gear now. So I'll be releasing more videos to show you our echo chamber. But I digress. Let's move on to the second hour. Unfortunately, we are over. So there will not be Am I the A-hole? But that's fine because I have a very interesting real or nah. I don't know what's going on with me lately that I've been finding videos of very delusional individuals, but I've been finding videos of very delusional individuals. I also, have a Mafia video of the week. And of course, Foxy's video of the week. 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I always stay dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
We are back. I rebooted the system. I've come to find out that the only delay that we was having was on this side of the system. And it was irritating me. Everybody else was getting everything in real time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com nope, not anymore. That is right.
Yep, not anymore.
God, I gotta change that. Ugh.
Don't do mine either. Don't do mine either.
And I'm about to say, please do not forget to go to Patreon. Nope, not anymore. Nope. Please do not forget to go to my Patreon page.
There you go.
There you go.
Exactly the way it's spelled: capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And as always, you can email me at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP@outlook.com. Wow.
I was like, I told him a whole week and I'm like, no, it's this.
And I forgot to put it in there. Look,
that's why I'm against vote blue no matter who. Right there. That's the whole reason.
Is gone. I erased this. I'm gonna hold Tracy on here before I forget. Okay. Also, I'm just gonna read through these real quick because what other thing that the system didn't do is tell me that we had comments. So a lot of it. I'm just gonna go through this real quick. The judge in this indictment is an appointment from Obama. Tracy said that we would get a hall monitor. LOL. Imagine Trump punishment is he has to work as a literal hall monitor.
Thank you, punishment. Put him in one of them bad schools. One of them lean on me schools. Yep.
Oh God, that'd be hilarious. Like the census changed Florida laws that banned the governor from staying in office if running for president. It was surprising if the Georgia also changed.
Did the same because they do what's convenient.
I don't think Biden would pardon Trump. Imagine for the Republican debate, they have to put Trump on a webcam while he's in jail or on house arrest.
He still raised millions of dollars.
That man ain't going. If the people ever step out of the cage we're in, if the people never step out of the cage we're in, it will never change. We need to get the cowards to drop the parties and stand together to vote third party. The president does have the ability to declare national emergency, though. And Parker, the only thing that I would push back on that is we're not in a national emergency.
On what, Parker? Then on what?
Yeah, we have to have a national emergency, and I don't remember the last time we even put a mask on. Trust me, I will the next time I go to the movies on a cruise.
I still wear my mask to church. I don't know what you're talking about. I sure put it on.
I mean, we're talking about the good old days of the moment that you step out of your house / office / anything, the mask goes on.
No, I've always waited till I got to my car.
That's me, but
because of COVID.
No, because of my own immune system.
That's what I'm saying. So there's
Though I am scared of COVID, I'm still in the Novid party, and I don't want to leave it.
Listen to what I said. I don't even wear a mask anymore unless I'm on a cruise ship watching a movie. Then I will definitely put a freaking mask on because that's how I caught COVID. How do I know this? Because everybody that went to the movies with me on the cruise ship got COVID. Darn near my whole
Somebody brought it there.
Somebody brought it there, and they didn't test for it.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse's slogan was "Keep Hope Alive." If Jesse got the Democratic nomination in 1988, do you think he would have beaten George H.W. Wells? As opposed to Michael Dukakis, who was the nominee, not a chance. No,
because he was coming off that Reagan high.
No.
Which I don't really know what Reagan did was so great, but hey, I was only by the time Reagan got off office, I was 10.
Literally, what's up, LL? Literally, the only thing, and the literal only thing that I have ever given Reagan, I have receipts. You can watch the show if you don't believe me. The only thing I've ever said that Reagan did great was the defense of this country. He was a master of that. Other than that,
that's because he was starting most of it.
I know he literally started the Iran. I'm like, for real. Like,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
the only thing I would give.
I mean, poor Jimmy Carter got booted out of office because he was trading arms for hostages. And that's not even an alleged. That's an actual fact.
Right?
Yeah. So
Reagan and Bush Daddy, Bush Senior, they
CIA.
organized the whole Iran situation because at the time Bush Daddy was CIA.
And Manuel Noriega is still, although I didn't even know he was alive, he's still in Panama in jail.
I was watching.
He's still alive?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Crap.
Don't start me on Gaddafi. No, that was Obama that killed Gaddafi. Never mind.
That was Obama who killed Gaddafi.
Noriega.
I believe Manuel Noriega is in the land of the living. I might be wrong.
Wow.
Let me check.
Yeah, everybody got to check that one.
Wait a minute.
That's a tough one right there.
That dude got to be well in his 90s by now.
Is Manuel Noriega still living? Is Manuel Noriega still living? Now I won't even go.
Yes, he is.
How old is he?
He's got to be almost 100. 100, but he up in there.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Oh no.
It says was.
How old?
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that he would be
He died
alive.
in 2017.
Okay, he died in 2017. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, old man Bush died not too long ago.
I got it. 2017, he died.
Because I thought he was still like in the land of the living.
God, dog, I'm about to be.
But 2017 to he was born in what
34.
34. That's still a long time.
That's a
long life.
With 40
Because
years in
Castro
prison.
died a few years after. No, Castro died in like the 2015s. Manuel, not his brother. Or Fidel. That's the one.
Fidel was the one who. Yeah, I didn't hate him.
No, I mean we as in the United States.
Oh, the country.
The
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Still can't go to Cuba, I believe.
But Obama did that right. He lifted the embargo against Cuba. I'm like, that I will give him credit for. That was a good thing. And then Trump put it back.
And then the Republicans, right?
And then Biden won't lift it. But I'm like, but that was a good thing. Because y'all know I'm trying to move to Cuba. Know it.
After that video Thea sent me.
I'm looking at Panama.
You might as well move to Dubai, fake place. Like that ain't even their real place.
I'm looking at.
I ain't going to Dubai.
No.
I need women to have rights where I go.
I can't
Thank you,
Dubai.
I mean in terms of it didn't exist, it was man created. Like it was created.
Oh, you talking about that city?
Yes. It wasn't like, oh well, we're gonna just build this city on like.
Okay, so Anna, there is a concept of building a city in Dubai in the desert because you have plenty of land for that in the desert. But what they're gonna do is put a dome over it, so everybody that's on the inside lives in that city, self-sufficient. So
no air, no birds.
Yeah.
No planes.
Well, I mean,
they're trying to plan for the future.
Yeah. So that's their plan for the future.
I know a lot of people who are constructing blueprints for dome-like cities
underwater.
Yeah.
As well, yeah.
We got one guy that wants to colonize Venus.
Right.
He can go first. Tell him to go first.
That's the same person who's a chairman of the submarine that sunk.
One bad project. Elon Musk has blown up a couple rockets.
And one
nobody
like,
on them.
I'm not gonna talk about what it looked like, but y'all know what it looked like.
One of them looked like a phallic symbol.
You sent a dildo into space. You didn't think the doggone thing was going to explode.
Only at the top.
It's not called Twitter anymore. It's X. Get the name right. X. I'm gonna still call y'all Twitter because I can't with this. I think we missed it.
Nah, I said something and it got them tickled.
Yeah, I'm like, what, huh?
I'm sorry. That cracks me up. A dildo exploded. Real or not?
Only at the top.
Well, I love you, but I hate you. But I love you.
Y'all got a dirty mind, I tell you.
Y'all sure do. I wasn't even thinking in those ramifications. Now I'm just like, Lord, I'm sorry, Lord, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do
we
that.
have cookies. Come on.
You know, one that launched balls into the air.
He did not launch testicles into the air. It was a spacecraft.
That was okay.
Sure, it exploded in the middle of the
What
air.
was on his mind when they decided to design that?
Amazon did the same thing, and don't nobody make fun of them.
Because it didn't look like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, so, okay.
What are we doing now? What's going on?
Okay.
Well, I mean, before our liftoff, they had to make sure it was fully erect.
That's important.
At the
very important.
most, they had to make sure that the fuel was,
So I'm going to talk about that sermon in church today. Just to get this right back on the track.
In church?
What a juxtaposition.
Why would you have to talk about
masterful?
Because y'all keep talking about this, and I'm just going to change the subject. Not my show or anything.
Dirty minds.
But
it's natural.
I blame it on Mickey.
Mickey did not. In this case, she did literally nothing.
I blame Mickey on this. That rocket was. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this story.
Just hear her say that too.
So, I have come across some very delusional for the last 2 weeks now. So this is week 3. So this is week 3. I'm not purposely finding delusional individuals, but I wound up finding another delusional individual. Trigger warning. This is a cheating husband. We get it. You're a piece of crap. That's why I didn't put it under, am I the a-hole? Yeah, you are.
You are? Okay.
So we're not even going to waste our time on that.
Is this real or not?
This is real or not, because this falls into the category of either A, you're delusional, or A, this is fake, or B, you're nuts, basically. Not as crazy as those other 2 stories, not even close. No, but something wrong with you, dude. So let's go ahead and get into it. Cheating husband.
My affair partner got served divorce papers out of nowhere 2 days ago at work. Her husband knows about us. It's only a matter of time before my wife finds out. Don't know if I have days or hours before the world as I know it is gone. Took some time off work today to spend time with my wife and our 2 daughters. My body is in turmoil, but strangely, my mind is clear. It reminds me of the days leading up to my dad's passing. Time has slowed down, and I'm aware of all the things surrounding me. It's a nice feeling. My day today was filled with observation of details and appreciation. My wife's smell and the clothes she wears, my daughter's laughter, the color of the kitchen tiles, the dog in the yard. I feel blessed to have a healthy and beautiful family. What will my daughters think of me? I look at my wife that I love with all my heart, and I see a woman who stood by me no matter what. We had our fair share of ups and downs like most couples, but I never imagined a life without her. How do I justify a 6-year affair? Is that even forgivable? I don't know what the future holds. All I know is that the storm is coming, and I'm here basking in the sun until the clouds come rolling in. I plan to confess over the weekend. Even if I know the outcome, I pray she does not leave me. This was so not worth it. Any suggestions on how to confess? How do you start? What do I tell my daughters? I've already made an appointment with a therapist. What else can I do? Wish me luck. Edit. Yesterday, I reached out to my brother for advice. He left his wife some years ago and married his affair partner. He seemed happy with her. The grass is not greener for him after all, and he's planning on leaving her, but he's stuck at the moment. His advice is to not tell my wife and to minimize if confronted. He also said that I should let down affair partner gently so she doesn't go nuclear on my wife and family. I'm hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. Not trying to be mean or anything, but you never imagined life without her? You had a 6-year affair and you love your wife with all your heart? It sounds like you're really confused. OP, I'm not confused. Never was. I don't have a problem separating love from hooking up. My heart is loyal to my woman, and she is it for me. 6 years is a long affair by any measure. If it wasn't worth it, what was a fair partner to you? Someone you could also mess around with along with your wife? For the record, this is the classic definition of throwing someone under the bus to save yourself. Maybe start by owning up to what you've done. If you think the affair partner's husband will reach out to your wife and tell her everything he discovered, I would suggest you start telling the truth. Whether your long-term affair is forgivable or not is no longer in your control. OP. So many responses about how I don't value my affair partner. Well, since I'm pouring out my heart here, let me tell you about my affair partner. She's gorgeous and a smart woman who is funny and open to different experiences. She's younger than myself and my wife. She's fit and she's beautiful. But she's not my wife and does not even compare. 6 years on and off is a long time to invest. As I see it, she's an adult who made her own decision to cheat with a married man on her husband for whatever reasons. Do I care for her? Yes, 6 years is a long time. Do I love her? No. Did I say to her that I loved her? Yes, of course I did. But I lied, just like I lied to my wife. Did I use her? Yes, I did. Did she use me too? Of course she did. We both knew we were playing with fire.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. I got something to say on this. I'm going to just be good today. I'm going to be good today.
Go ahead, Tracy.
No, I'm gonna let everybody else speak first, because this. I hope this isn't real, but unfortunately, I think it's real. I think there are people like this OP or whatever he is. Does that stand for original poster?
Original poster.
I've heard this before. Dude, 6 years, you don't love her. Basically, she was a hookup, and you want to. You reap what you sow. You done messed around, and she gonna find out, and hopefully she drops your ever-loving loser. Fine. Goodbye. And is this a family trait? Not only does he cheat, his brother cheats too? Like, what is this, a family affair? They all cheat? Is the whole family a bunch of cheaters?
I'm just shocked. This is why the part about why I was borderline real or not. Your brother cheated. Like what Tracy said, your brother cheated. So your logic was to ask your brother for advice on what to do after you purposely may get caught cheating.
It runs in the family, apparently.
It seems to be highly logical.
Yeah, liars lie. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So everything in this story was him creating new backstops and lies for his own benefit. So it's like he's not even preparing to lie to her because he thinks he's already trapped on that end. So now he's telling new lies. Now he's saying things like, well, she used me too. That's a rationalization. That's not necessarily an actual statement. You don't know what's in her head. You were dealing with this woman for 6 years. Therefore, you can't say that this was just a hookup. This was actually another relationship.
Well, there's a whole
you might not have loved her. That's fine. People lie about that all the time. But as far as that's what it is, I mean, so, and then he says, I love my wife. Really? But you don't, because part of love is protecting the person you love. So you are not protecting her. right? And so he's one of those people. It's just lies on top of lies. I've known plenty of guys like this. Unfortunately, I've known a couple of women, but I've known plenty of guys like this over the years. And they'll rationalize it any way they need to, because they already know this bridge is burnt. It's already burnt. So they're gonna ride it out. Like the whole first part of his story was a sound of a man who just lost his court case, and he knows he's being sentenced to 5 years in prison. So he's just trying to process what he has in his free life before he goes inside. It has become a new creature. That's all that was.
Yep.
Just another classic cheater story.
He got caught, and then he's trying to get uncaught.
I think that was real. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think this one is real.
Well,
I agree.
Another reason I'm against vote blue, no matter who.
I have no idea.
It gets worse.
This is why we can't have nice things.
What happened?
She found out and kicked his. She found out and divorced him.
No, I found out that she was cheating with
the wife,
with the husband. Yeah, that said she was cheating with the husband of the year. Yep. Or she had an affair with the wife. Oh no! Wait
a minute.
Well, that's her girlfriend too.
Ooh.
I can't believe I said that one.
Wow. All right, let's go ahead and get into it and see which one of these soap opera theories they just threw out is right.
You're selfish. 6-year affair, and it was only not worth it because you and affair partner were caught. Not only do you not deserve your wife, but you do not deserve your affair partner. Update. I was prepared for all scenarios, but not this one. The doomsday did not come in the shape I was expecting. Affair partner convinced her soon-to-be ex to not spill the beans to my wife in exchange for a smooth divorce. I thought I was in the clear. Yesterday, affair partner sent me a blurry photo of my wife in the car with another man. She claimed they walked hand in hand to his car from a store in a nearby town to ours. She got a shot of the plates too. After some digging, I now know that she's having an affair. Don't know how long for sure, but at least for 6 months. He's a single dad, our age, and is telling her to leave the marriage. She's telling him that she loves him. I'm afraid to confront her. I feel numb at this point. Took a day off of work. Any advice on how to proceed? Should I just let it run its course and monitor? Should I confront and hope for the best? Should I confess to my affair and hope that we can all come clean and make way for a new marriage? I'm so utterly confused. I have rehearsed the things that I would say and do if she were to find out about my affairs. I was not prepared for this. I think you need to find out why your wife cheated. If her reasons line up with yours, maybe there's a way for you to move to don't ask, don't tell. OP. I'm desperate to talk this out, to know why this happened and how invested she really is with this jerk. If she's doing this out of revenge, maybe I have a chance, because if so, she does feel something for me at least. I can't imagine her being emotionless, throwing away over 20 years. I know this woman like I know myself. Deep down, she's hurt, but also so very stubborn and proud. I just want to know if she knew about my affair, why didn't she confront me? I would have chosen her over affair partner in a nanosecond. And what is she hoping to find with this guy? He's no better than me, hooking up with a married woman. Ugh. I'm trying to respect her wish to have some space, but I'm desperate to just talk to her. Update. My marriage seems to be over. Confronted my wife this past weekend, set her down without warning, and told her I knew she was having an affair, and with whom. Asked her if she loved him and what her plan was. She was caught off guard, went to the bathroom for 10 minutes. When she came out, she looked me straight in the eyes and said, I know about your affair too. I've known for some time now. I love him and I want a divorce. Next days were a blur. I tried talking to her, but she just shuts me down. She has moved into the spare bedroom and is making appointments with law firms. Has told our 2 daughters. I have signed up for emergency therapy. I'm on meds for dealing with anxiety and a lack of sleep. This is surreal. Heard her talk to him last night and cut the internet cord. Kind of crazy because I need internet for work and she just switched to her phone. Oh man, so many emotions are running through me. How did this happen? How can she not feel any emotion? Over 20 years gone. All the love, friendship, partnership, intimacy, jokes, memories, plans for our future, gone. Just like that. No looking back. I feel so blindsided, and the only person I can talk to is my brother who lives across the country. Sorry to vent to you here. Just needed to get this out.
So now I think we've slipped over into not real. And the reason why is because this sounds like the perfect cautionary tale that someone would write. You know what I mean? Like, this is just like too perfect. But it's very much how human behavior is. You know, now here's a generalization. Men oftentimes will cheat because, one, they have a weak personal code of conduct, which is I always say, you don't cheat on your partner. You actually are cheating on your own morals, like your own core. So if you have a weak moral compass, then you cheat as a guy. You cheat because the opportunity presents itself. Oftentimes, now women can do the same thing, but oftentimes men are like more likely to cheat because of opportunity, not because of affection. Women are often more likely to cheat because of affection, not because of opportunity. So if she's been in this relationship for an extended period of time, she's already emotionally shut off this dude. Like, that's done. You know what I mean? So one, I don't think it's real anymore. And two, I don't care what happens to cheaters. I'm actually one of those people that would be like on some the Philippines type shit. Like, you know, you can get X'd out as far as I'm concerned. So good luck to all of them. Whatever.
Anna?
I'm gonna go with this. This is a basis in reality, but definitely some additions. And yeah, I'm sorry I can't pull up much investment in this. I agree with Mickey. It sounds like the wife, she knew about it for a long time. She emotionally checked out of the relationship when found somebody who actually saw her.
Yep.
And you know what? You do you, boo. If that's a real thing, you do you. Good for you. This guy is like...
You're muted, Theus.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said no. She's just as bad because cheating is always a choice. She could have left too. So she chose to take this particular path. He chose to take this particular path. Own your actions. Own your decisions.
Yeah.
You're a lying, cheating bitch too. He's a lying, cheating bitch. Everybody's a lying, cheating bitch. So go find your lying, cheating bitch life and hope that none of this catches back up with you and somebody, causes harm to you.
Okay.
Just bitches everywhere.
Yeah. That's why it's hard to care.
How could she cheat on me? How could she not value our relationship that I threw away?
Well, you're...
Well, this, whoo-wee.
All right, Tracy.
I'm going to a card that I always go to. I don't want to say the Bible says, but it does. When you dig a ditch, you better dig one for yourself because you're going to fall in it. You reap what you sow. Ha ha ha, just what you get. Sorry, not sorry. You, sir, are a cheating scuzz bucket.
What Bible verse is that?
I don't think that was in the Bible that I
I know the
read.
first part was, the second part is me.
What verse is this?
Hey, it's worse in the Bible if you read it. I'm being nice.
She on some
Where's
petilations.
Scuzz bucket? I want to know where that. What?
It's not in there. The scuzz bucket, that's me adding stuff. This is just when you reap, you will reap what you sow. Period. Dude, you cheated on her. What did you think was gonna happen? She was gonna remain faithful to you. She was gonna look. Just what
But
you
he's
did.
special.
You found out what it's like to get cheated on. You're a cheater. She's a cheater. Cheaters cheat. That's what cheaters do. You're going to get what you put out. You're going to reap what you sow. Blah, blah, blah. I don't feel bad. I feel bad for the children. That's who I feel bad for. I still believe this story is true because, unfortunately, I've heard of revenge cheating, which is the stupidest thing ever. How you going to revenge cheat? So my man cheats on me. I'm going to cheat on him to get revenge. No, here I get revenge. I ditch the man and get me a new one. That's how you do that. You don't just go cheating on somebody. They be like, I got cheated on.
People don't see. This is how I get. I'll tell you exactly how people get there, though, because they themselves didn't consider cheating, right? And then they find out that they're being cheated on, and because this is happening at a time that is not of your choosing, you try to find a way to survive in the environment. So it's either do I leave, which means I'm going to uproot me and my children. I'm going to have to go through all the social crap. I'm going to have to go through all this other stuff. Or maybe if I did this back to him, he'll see how it feels and we'll be even. See, in your brain, you think that's going to work. But the reality is you're not doing simple math. This isn't bad act to beat out bad act.
But in
This is
their mind,
emotional.
it is.
It is in the moment because they know that the right course comes with a lot of pain, right? They know the correct course is a divorce and it's all those things, and they just aren't ready to face that. So they think, okay, well, I'll just show them how I feel and how it feels to be me. But you'll find out that it never settles out that way.
Because you're involving. She's involving another dude who's probably cheating on his wife. I mean, think about
He's not married.
This husband, the wife was cheating on somebody single. I thought she said he was a dad. He's a dad,
parent.
but not necessarily married. Well, anyway,
right.
Anywho, she's involving that dude, his children, and her mess. When she could have just said, you know what, you cheating on all of this. Okay, bye you. I'm gonna leave you, divorce you. You do go with her. Nah. This is no. You get what you put out. You get what you put out. You put it out. It's gonna come back to you, and it's gonna come back to you worse. There. That was the ultimate point I was trying to make. And no, it's not the F around and find out Bible, Parker.
Part of the Bible.
There is a lot of that in there.
It was a lot of people that messed around and found out, though. I mean, they messed around and they found out.
All right.
Shall I give you an example? No, I'm not.
Here's my verdict. I think the story is real. And the only reason I even say that the story is real, I know these dudes.
Thank you.
I mean, I've literally heard these dudes talk the exact same
She cheated on me. How can she do this?
Phrase for phrase, wording for wording, everything. Now, these were guys that were dating, not married, but they was dating. But if you listen to it, it was word for word, everything that was said. Dude, she gonna find out that I'm cheating. Holy crap, she cheated on me. How could she cheat on me? How can she throw away all the 6 months of the laughing and the crying and getting together? But I'm telling you, word for word, they said the exact same crap.
It's in the manual.
I'm gonna tell you, like,
y'all smart enough to come up with a manual? Well, dang on it. I'm
I mean,
surprised.
y'all.
Tracy, I'm gonna tell you something back in my day. I'm gonna tell you how bad it was. Back in my day, they didn't have girlfriends. They had at one point number ones and number twos.
Number twos, yeah, I know about them days.
And what anybody who's new to this, let me explain to you what that means. The number ones is I don't care if I'm seen with her. That's my number one. Number twos is I don't care if I'm seen with her at the club.
At a certain place, yeah.
At certain places. We can go to the movies and everything else, but the sun need to be down. Number three is, yeah, you're only allowed to come over my house when I don't have anything better to do.
And nobody's there.
Nobody's home. Yep.
Nobody, yeah. Right. So yeah, I met these guys. I'm pretty sure there was women out there who did the exact same thing.
Oh,
but
yes.
I can't speak on it because I have never met these women. But come on.
What if I told you I was
you
one
done
of
met
those
them.
women?
You done met them.
Oh, I didn't know then. I didn't know.
But I was one of those women, Marlon.
But I didn't know.
I did the same
I met
thing.
guys who did.
Marlon is not listening to nothing I'm saying. Go ahead.
I did because I was talking. Why?
Because I'm important enough for you to stop your conversation.
You sat there and said the Bible said stuff, and you wouldn't even give me the book.
You reap what you sow is definitely in the Bible. You dig one ditch, you dig another. Yes. God shall not be mocked. Whatever a man sows, he shall also reap. What you reap is what you sow is the very next verse.
And then the verse after that is, and they effed around and found out.
I said I added that part. And I wasn't adding to the word of God. I was not violating
that
the
was
book
in
of
the
Revelation.
Patriot Bible.
That was that makes more sense.
That was in the Tracy Carson, she about that life person Bible.
It was in not Revelations, but Revolution of the Patriot Bible. F around and find out.
There's no, but some people did mess around and find out.
Oh, they did. Oh, I ain't gonna lie about that. But anyway, my point was, I believe this.
Just like Alabama.
Yeah. There are people who have done this, and as soon as the exact same thing happened to them, they become victims. They're the victim.
But man, when you cheat, but when I cheated though, I did it discreetly. You can say discreetly.
When I cheated, I ain't mean it though. You know,
yeah, she was just a thing. She was there.
One of my favorite Jay-Z songs of all time is "Song Cry." Right, it's one of his old tracks. But he had that one part, and he's like, "I was just, these girls. I was gonna get right back. I'm a man with feelings. You don't get me back like that."
No, like, I'll tell you, it reminds me of a joke of Eddie Murphy. It reminds me of a joke of Eddie Murphy. I can't remember which one it was. It wasn't Delirious. It was, what was after Delirious?
He did stuff.
I don't know. I didn't really like his stand-up.
I love his first two.
I loved his first two. Then that third one, I was like,
movie.
well, maybe you should do movies. And
but
then Norbit came
he had
out.
a joke of, this is the first version of gaslighting without actually being said gaslighting. But he found out that his girlfriend found out that he was cheating. And she got mad and was crying and everything else. So he said the way that you get around it is to be more mad than her being mad. And you just yell out, okay, I effed her. Is that what you want me to say? I effed her. Is that all you want me to say to her? Is that what you want me to admit? I effed her. Fine. Then I'll say it. I effed her. I make love to you.
So and she gonna buy that mess.
So if you're gonna let a little F come between me and your love, then there's something wrong with this relationship. So,
but that's a classic manipulation. Turning around on the other person.
That is so manipulative. I.e., the guy in the t-shirt that said, If I was a barber, just because I don't cut, if I cut hair, does that make me a barber?
No, because that was just funny and stupid at the same time.
That's what that sounded like.
Oh yeah, it wasn't me. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many songs
by
about
the way, Parker,
cheating.
you don't know anything about this because
Me
you
and
may be
Mrs.
a
Jones.
little young. That was a rule. Deny. You if you are caught cheating,
it's still the rule.
You never volunteer information. Ever. You do
That's
not
the best course of
volunteer
action.
nothing.
That's the best way to show repentance is to say,
Nope,
yep,
you
I did it.
don't- You never volunteer information. You force her to give you all the information, i.e., I need to know what you know. So if I know what you know, I know how to handle what you know. But I am not going to volunteer information that you don't know.
I mean, Bill
to
Clinton
put me
tried
back
that.
in the hole.
I did not have relations with that woman. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Miss
No, it's
Lewinsky.
just basically it's the whole situation of, you just keep denying because this is not about what is right or wrong or true or false. It's about what you can prove. And that's unfortunately the slope that we as an entire society have slid down.
Instead
which is
of
why I
just
get
telling
so
the truth.
annoyed with people.
Which would be
Because
much
we punish
easier.
people for telling for telling the truth, and we reward people for lying. Like we literally will reward someone to lie to us. We know they're lying to us, and we'll reward them over someone who tells us the truth. Right? I'll use Jimmy Carter as an example. Jimmy Carter came out and said this is going to be a really bad situation, and we got to do some austerity, and we got to do this, and we got to do that. And then on the other hand, Reagan was like, "Man, we good," and they were like, "Yeah."
It's politics 101. you never.
Everybody want to hear doom and gloom, even though
But
that's
the
the
truth
clear
is
truth.
that's the deal, but that's the
It's
deal.
like the
That's
clear
the
truth is we messed up, y'all. Oh no, the economy's great. Yeah.
We spent all the money. I don't want to hear that.
She was just late by 3 days.
Trump for 2 years straight kept yelling and screaming, the economy is great. The economy is wonderful. The economy sucks rocks. What you're talking about is Wall Street. Wall Street is
the
making
economy
a tremendous
wasn't
amount of money.
They all say that.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say something. I'm not defending Trump when I say this following statement, people. I'm not. The economy was not terrible under Trump. He got a lot of good. It went down when COVID came about.
That's half of his presidency.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. He started out pretty good. I know that. You didn't let me finish. I was like, and then COVID came and it just went crap.
And I get you, Tracy, but here's the funny thing: what I put on Trump, because this is what.
But no president's gonna ever say the economy is terrible.
Pissed me off so much about Trump.
Trump says it all the time.
But this is what pissed me off so much about Trump and the COVID situation. So I have to make sure that I
drink bleach to get rid of it.
No, it wasn't that, dude. You would have beaten Biden. And
if you cut $2,500 checks,
you would have beaten Biden by doing the freaking bare minimum.
The bare minimum. He couldn't even do that. Dumb. And we supposed to believe this man is smart.
Set it up for you.
Gave him a whole book saying, here, do this. Do exactly this. Nope, he couldn't do it. Because his wife smiled at Obama at a funeral.
I mean, I'm just like,
and she looked real happy to sit next to him.
Why you sit here trying to fight that this is not an issue with the country. This is not an issue. It's the flu. I'm looking at him like, bruh, you can't.
Until he got COVID himself. He had COVID himself and was still saying, nah.
In office for the
dude
2 years of COVID.
He had COVID
the election by doing the freaking bare. It is like picking up an IKEA bookcase and just follow the freaking directions. You had to do nothing.
Man, them IKEA things hard.
They're too hard. You just pay somebody like, hey, IKEA person, I'll pay you $30. Put this together.
Hey, but you know what's funny though?
I could have went to the Red
All right.
House and have them put it together.
At the Red House.
Because it's good for white people
and black people. And everybody.
And all people. But look, what's funny though, once again, this is where I get so annoyed with people who know better, right? We who follow politics know that whatever a president does pretty much has about a 2-year lag time. So Obama's economy trails to approximately 2 years into Trump's economy.
True.
Yep.
Trump's economy trails approximately 2 years into Biden's economy. So that's just kind of how the cycles run, because things, they take time, and you put your policy ideas in, and it takes time, right? Mm-hmm. So Obama's strong economy was Trump's 2 years of good economy. The last 2 years of Trump's economy, when it started nosediving and COVID tore the whole world upside down. Now, COVID is not Trump's fault. Trump's handling is Trump's fault.
Yeah.
But that destroyed that economy. But the first 2 years of Biden's administration is the clearest reflection that we have of Trump's policies. That was after the tax cuts are fully in place. That's after the companies are doing their thing. All of this stuff, the first 2 years that's Trump. So the economy was sluggish the first 2 years of Biden. You have to kind of give Trump some credit that it didn't fall off the cliff.
Yeah, he didn't nosedive
because of his policy. But we can't say he had a good economy because he himself never generated a good. Not you, but it can't be said that Trump didn't have a bad economy, because he did. He had a most lukewarm, pathetic economy that you got. Even if you adjust it for COVID, it was bad. And then Biden's economy is what you can look at for the last 2 years of his administration. And each quarter has had significant growth over the last 2 years. Everybody was spouting gloom and doom about recessions and all of that. And yet it kept improving. And it kept improving in a way different than what we normally would see. We would normally see the stock market doing good, and then everybody tries to blow smoke up our skirt and tell us that that's a good economy. Like Tracy said, no, it's not. That's rich people making money.
Yeah, that's not me. I still can't afford a $400 emergency. What y'all talking about?
Thank you. Regular people are looking at cost of living changes, inflation changes, wage stagnation. These are the things that reflect our economy. Unemployment, that's our economy, right? So those things, mixed bag for Biden, but overall good. Got positive GDP growth, all that. Stock market's been doing this, so you can't even really look at that. But that's where I would wish people would pay a little bit closer attention, and then ask yourself, whoever you're going to advocate for going forward, whether it be Biden, Trump, or anybody else, on the issues that matter to you and the issues that don't matter as much to you, how are they going to perform? What's their economic program? And how do they get it enacted with this pathetic Congress that we are stuck with? So, the whole Trump thing just annoys me.
He's going to torpedo himself when he picks Taylor Greene as his vice president. So, I mean,
let me piggyback.
Yeah, I think he's either going to pick Green or he's going to pick the lady from South Carolina.
Nikki Haley?
Yep.
She said something bad about him. He's not going to pick her. She said something bad about him. He can't, his ego.
So if you say Trump, okay, say a few things bad about him if you can give him more than you're taking. So he needs women. He needs suburban women.
He gonna pick Marjorie because she's never criticized him. Never.
No, if you're saying that he's gonna pick a woman, I can tell you the exact person that he's gonna pick then.
His wife.
Hell no.
No, he can't pick her. She wasn't born in America.
She don't like him though.
No, you know her. You love her.
Don't say Oprah. Please don't say Oprah.
Hell, no. Kristen Sinema.
You know what, Marlon? That makes a lot of sense to me.
If you're going
No, because he wants votes, and she can't bring him any votes. She can't bring him any votes. He already has Arizona. So he needs somebody who's going to bring him something. Because Pence brought him the evangelical.
Yeah, that's true. I got to see more.
But let me
makes a lot
piggyback
of
on what
sense.
Diaz was saying about the economy. This is the only pushback that I say about name a Republican who had a great economy when they was in office, and we went way back to
Eisenhower.
This is the only
before the political switch
that I put on history. That I push back on history. Yeah, every Democrat had a good economy. But nobody sits there and say, compared to, and that's the issue that I have, compared to the, excuse me, Tracy, compared to the shitty economy that you adopted.
I mean, George W. Bush destroyed it so bad. We was like, hey, give the black guy a chance.
So
that's facts. All facts right there, Tracy. All
now
facts.
that's just a fact. We was just like, well, it can't get no worse. Let's get the black guy shit.
Send the black guy in.
Or do we have a good economy? Or we're saying it's better than what we had the past 4/8 years.
Reagan messed it up, and we was too stupid to see it. Then we elected Bush. Then we elected Clinton. But
see, I'm not going. I struggle with the part.
I don't even want to give it to.
I mean, I was old enough to vote when Clinton ran for office. That's when I became legally eligible to vote for president.
But Clinton did a good job.
I don't want to give any credit
on those
Clinton
metrics
on this fact right here. I don't want to give so much credit for the economy to Clinton, because I guarantee you, if you look back on the history of what Clinton did, he set up for a damn landslide of the economy. Like, you opened up Pandora's box of anybody and everybody.
W. Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only time we've had 2 8-year presidents back to back. Yeah, that's right. It was Clinton, then Bush Jr., then Obama, then Trump, then Biden. Okay, I always give my.
No, I'm missing what you were saying. I'm not catching. What did Clinton do?
For example, the housing crisis, so to speak, that we had, and you decided.
08?
08? Was it 08?
God, that was the housing recession.
07, 08 was when it crashed. That was that one.
No, we had the housing crisis like in the early 70s, 80s. That was like Carter, Reagan.
You were talking about
that was Carter, Reagan. Yeah, because that was the savings and loans crisis.
Carter, Reagan, Clinton.
But we have a recession roughly every 8 to 10 years. That's just the way our cycle runs. But lately, we've been on a much faster track where it's happening every 6 or 8 years, 6 to 8 years.
But did you not feel that Clinton have an issue when he allowed the economy to be affected by anybody and everybody who did not have and I'm talking about the housing situation, where he opened the economy that anybody and everybody, regardless of your income, was allowed to get housing.
That's what led to the housing crash of that wasn't. Yeah, and you know I ain't a Clinton fan at all. That really wasn't him per se. That was more the banking industry doing those subprime loans. And it was like, hey, you got $10, buy you a $500,000 house.
Yeah, because I want to say, I have to ask wrong because the names kind of get past me, but Graham Lee Bliley was the one that existed, I think, through the Clinton thing, which kept the banks and the investment houses from coming together, right? So Clinton had that in place while he was there. I don't remember if he was the one who put it there, but he was the one while it was there. Then who followed him? W came in, and W took that out. And as soon as he did that, that was when like the J.P. Morgans and the big investment houses, they started clumping together. And now towards 2005-ish, because there was about a 2-year run, around 2005-ish, that was when the subprime loan industry really exploded, because that was when the investment market was able to sit there and say, well, we don't even have to hold the risk anymore, right? When you kept the bank and the brokers apart, the investment brokers apart, that meant that every mortgage was held by the bank. So the bank had to be real careful who they gave money to, because they didn't want the house back, because they're not in the business of, back then anyway, they weren't in the business of selling houses. So they had to be real careful. When that broke and they were able to, and then when that broke and they let the bank and the brokerages come together, it completely changed the game. Because now I can write the mortgage to you, Marlon, and on the bank side, and then on the investment side of my company, I can rewrite this, package it up, and sell it as an investment. Not even like selling the mortgage like we used to do. No, that's old school. I can now sell it as a derivative. And now I'm pushing the money out here. And these derivatives were built off of stacking things and partial percentages and all this horrible stuff. And then, like you were just saying, they had what we used to call them ninja loans. No income, no job, no problem. Right? So you had that happening at the same time, and then it all fell in 2007, 2008. So like W is really the reason all of that stuff went crazy.
Yeah, but he had that big old mission accomplished sign. Oh, that was the war.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's.
And Mickey's making.
And then what did he do? This is so. Oh my goodness! This is. I mean, it's not genius. It's just what they do. Whenever the American economy seems to be heading into a deep recession, not just a recession, a deep recession, we're going to a major war. Because the defense industry is a cash cow. So Bush sent us off the war, so now no one's paying attention to the economy. He's writing these blank checks on whatever, because they just do appropriations instead of allocations. So they just got all this money flowing around that had no basis anywhere. You got the investment market going crazy on money that has no basis anywhere. Perfect storm. All falls in. Bring in the black guy. He has a nice smile.
And wears a tan suit. That was a bad thing. He
better wear a tan suit until it was too late. His wife showed off her arms, and he got a tan suit, and that was the beginning of communism in America.
Yeah. Yep, like it wasn't no racism until Barack Obama showed up.
I don't know.
Not a drop of it.
Black woman shows.
The racists had nothing to be mad at before Obama. It's his fault for existing.
Black woman shows off his arms. White woman posed nude in a magazine.
With another woman kissing, but hey, that's art.
But that
is
art.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's art. Y'all don't know nothing. Art. But I think Mickey made a good point. He may pick Carrie Lake. If
he picks Carrie Lake, he's not. Well, he's not going to win anyway.
It's over. If he picks her,
I think he's. Why wouldn't he? She's another one that doesn't say
his
anything.
Ego might let. Yeah, his ego might let him do it, but that'd be a bad.
No, because he's got to pick somebody less attractive than his wife, because she probably set that rule. Like, don't be picking nobody look better than me. And Carrie Lake looks better than Melania Trump, so he got to pick Marjorie Taylor Greene because she don't look.
Trump's wife look the damn same. Who cares?
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They don't.
No, they really don't.
I mean, two of them.
Marla Maples and Ivana Trump. They sort of kind of look alike, but Melanie.
But Melania don't look like the rest of them.
Yeah, she don't look nothing like the rest of them. Yeah, he might pick. It's gonna be a woman. It's gonna either be MTG or Carrie Lake. It's one of them two. He's not gonna pick a man.
There is an outside chance that he'll pick
Tim Scott.
Vivek. No, he won't pick Tim Scott. The reason why I say he won't pick Tim Scott is because the Republican Party does this every cycle. They float a black person to show that they're not racist. That's their black friend. But they don't actually want to give them anything. So then what they'll do is they'll be in the same situation where they don't want a black person to be another president. They're not going to let him go into vice. They'll pretend like they will.
Yeah, because he beat
too close.
They'll give him
something like they did. Yep. So they'll do like they did Carson, and they'll give them some other
HUD secretary. Why the HUD secretaries always gotta be black though? That's
because
what don't matter which administration, they always black. Get somebody white. That's all I'm saying. Show some diversity.
They're the ones using it. They're the main ones using the benefit.
Well, y'all using it. We ain't even using it.
But they look at it and say, "Hey, these your people. You know how to talk to them." Over to
every president from
Obama what was that last statement, Theus?
What?
Did you know how to talk?
These your people?
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah,
you're not.
Every president always gets a black secretary of HUD. Like, get somebody, put somebody indigenous in there. Mix it up a little bit. Do something different with that office.
They don't want nobody that's actually gonna do something though.
No, but I'm saying from Reagan down. I'm like, every HUD secretary's been black.
Who's over HUD right now? Isn't it like the indigenous lady?
No, it's the lady that used to be in Ohio that Nina Turner ran for her seat. The one she got robbed out of. I can't call her name. Parker, where you at when I need you?
Parker come in later. Let's move on. Mafia video of the week. Well, this is a video that's probably going to be taken down, but I had to share it because it's from our very own Anna, and the video. Anna has opened up my eyes that we really need to start paying attention to the words of songs that we really enjoy that doesn't mean what we thought for years, decades, what they mean. For decades, didn't know this freaking. Once I heard the song, I kind of like, no. Then I started listening to the words. There's your internet is going.
I was gonna say I couldn't hear.
I was like, he said,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Nope. No better.
Go on without me.
All right. So, wait a minute. Who is this? Baraka Fudge.
Marsha Fudge.
What the hell is that? That's
the Secretary of House HUD now. Couldn't think of her name. I was like, I know it.
Still don't know it now. But either way, pay attention to some things. I'm not going to take anybody down because this is kind of short, but pay attention to some song lyrics because they ain't saying what you think they saying.
I think my internet was messing up.
This is why I mostly listen to gospel music.
What was Madonna saying?
Yeah, you chopping up bad, bro. I'm like, what? What?
They said, I'll come back in a minute.
You ever have that moment where you have the song where you think you know what you're singing and then you look at the lyrics and you...
Never would happen with gospel music. No chance
I
in the world. They may be saying something totally different, but I'm like, okay, for the most part, got it. But there are some songs I'm like, that's what they was
Tracy?
But was she talking about what Monica Lewinsky did to Bill Clinton?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I thought that then because it's Madonna.
I listened to the song for decades, and I thought the same thing that Anna thought was oh, this is the video was religious type situation.
Nah,
The
even
video
then I
was
knew.
religious type, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Then Anna was like, no, let me show you the video. And I was like, oh, okay. So
and then give you all the lyrics as well.
The lyrics, and I started, and she sent me the lyrics, and I read through it, and I went, okay, first of all, this is what makes me feel idiotic.
You didn't get it before then?
Before I met you. This is
what was wrong with the song. Because you didn't get it before. Like it was real obvious what she was saying.
Here's what I'm thinking. This is 90s, 80s?
Yeah, that song came out the late 80s.
Probably 90s, I would say.
This is 80s or late 80s, early 90s. This is what I'm thinking was, this is Madonna, controversial religion, blah, blah, blah. This is her mind thing. She's just being controversial to be controversial. I should have went, oh no, this is Madonna. This is what she would do. When I started reading the lyrics, I went, no, this is just Madonna. Ha ha, I got one across.
Just what you get, dummy.
This is what you get. Yeah, basically.
I should talk. I'm the stupid one that thought that like a prayer.
Like a prayer. This is a Monica Lewinsky story.
Period. To song. Hey, I'm the one that's thought that Michael Jackson's "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" was about dancing. Then I read the words. I'm like, you know what? I don't believe this.
But that's how the songs were. That's what was so great about it. It was actually poetry and art. Mm-hmm. But Madonna was always about that life.
Yeah.
But I seriously thought that song was about dancing. And now I'm listening to it. I'm like, girl, you can't be that stupid. You can't be.
But that was the point of music back then, was to push the boundaries.
The boundaries. To be able to say one thing and yet that means two things.
But they always did that though. Remember our parents' music? It was in the Hole in the Wall Club.
Mm-hmm.
Hole in the Wall Club.
At the Hole in the Wall. That is all about sex.
Yeah.
And push it. Salt and pepper.
If you look at the music, and I tell everybody this as it's not a joke. I'm sorry. It's history, but it's also trivia. And I always say, which came first, the music or the group?
I'm not understanding.
No.
Just answer the question. Which came first? If I tell you, if we was talking about music, which would come first, the music or the group?
Is this a chicken and egg?
The group has to sing it. The group has to sing it, don't it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The group has to sing it.
I would say the music comes first.
Yeah, because the music has always been, and then the group was formed around it. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Anna.
Okay, here's the funny
thing. Depends on what stage of the creative process we're talking about.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing about it. The song Navy and YMCA came out before there was the Village People.
Yeah, because they formed because the song was so popular. I mean, that's what they did. That's
why would I say the music or the group?
That's one of the few.
They became so popular that they had to put the group together.
There are a few like that, yeah.
But they only had two songs. You got to use somebody better than the Village People. They only literally had two songs, In the Navy and YMCA.
Well, I'm sorry. Hold on. What the hell are you talking about the New Edition? Wait a minute now.
They needed something to follow the Jackson 5.
But they were not. They even in their best days. Even in their best days, they wasn't the Jackson 5.
What we're not going to have on this show is this talking shit about New Edition. So
but Marlon, come on, Marlon. You know the Jackson 5 are better. Marlon.
What we're not gonna have is people talking shit about New Edition. Not on my show. You can do it on your show, but not on my show. We're just not gonna have it. It's not gonna happen. Tracy can do her skirting high heels and talk about New Edition all the time and do it on her show. This can say, I'm running for being a producer and talk about the Jackson 5 on his show. But you're not going to talk shit about New Edition on my show. Foxy's videos of the week.
I wasn't even talking shit about him, but it's all right, though.
I mean, come on. You the same person that
Everybody
says the Wiz is better than the Wizard of Oz. We understand.
Let me explain to you. We did a show of who was the top.
And who won the group? Who won
did win.
By how many billions of records?
It wasn't billions now.
It was more than 10 million.
Come on, I did a lot more than records. I did who was more solo, who did more, blah, 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 everything.
I mean,
I just came in pretty doggone close when I did the research. I was like, ooh.
Them groups ain't got nothing on the Jackson 5. None of them. Not Boys to Men, not Silk, not.
But Tracy, I'm not going to name the group, but the thing about it, though, is like you can't compare these groups across time by album sales or anything like that because the medium changes, the population changes. There's more people doing this, doing that. People are getting paid more for their work. All of these things happen. So if you try to compare the four tops to Boys to Men, you'll be like, Boys to Men was a superior group because it sold more albums.
Stop lying.
The Four Tops was infinitely better. You know what I'm saying? Or the stylistics, right? But if you just do by album sales or who got gold and who got platinum, it's not a fair representation.
But who had the
I
most
look at it more
#1s?
along lines of how did you get here and whose shoulders are you standing on?
And the funny thing about this subject, and I promise I will move on. The funny thing about this subject is, let's be more realistic to the fact of it's really who you like. Like, I can sit there and say Michael Jackson had Thriller, the album Thriller was the most sold album ever. Still up there now as the most
it's still #1
album. The problem is when I compared it with Off the Wall, which was the album
clearly
before
better.
him, I worked song for song and everything else. Off the Wall was a better album than Thriller.
It really was. But Thriller
was cutting edge for its cinematics. He was one of the first ones.
If it wasn't for Motown 25, though, Motown 25 put Thriller on.
I'm not saying that other people didn't do it. I'm not saying other people didn't do it. But Michael is the one who gets credited for making his videos movies in a video. Like, you walk the entire movie, like Moonwalker, Remember the Time, Thriller. These are things that, like, you felt like you watched a whole movie just watching this 4-minute video. It was bananas. So he gets a lot of credit for that. But he got those ideas from somebody else who helped bring it, forward.
Of course, there's no original idea. It's just who perfects it better.
And the deal about Off the Wall, and I got to see if I can find a video.
It's a better album.
Because I saw it was fascinating. It's a guy who's a DJ. But he said, was Off the Wall the most influential album ever? And what he was saying about that was he was saying Off the Wall comparison was the ending of the disco era into the beginning of a new era. And if you listen to Off the Wall, you will realize that Michael Jackson took elements from the disco era, but he was foreseeing that it was ending the disco era and was putting in the new era when he was doing Off the Wall.
That's why people like Michael are people like Michael, okay? Because they don't follow trends. They literally are the vanguard of a new trend, right? Nobody does it like Prince. Prince gets that guitar and it's just like, whoa. But you know who did it before him? B.B. King. Jimi Hendrix, right? So, but the way they do it was like, but the way they did it was different. Like the way Michael did it was different. The way, is so you get value for that. Like my one of my favorite rappers of all time, and I know time has gone by, so people don't really think about him anymore. But LL Cool J, what made him so amazing as a rapper was he was always on the front end of what was coming, right? He was kind of like Busta Rhymes is kind of like a him move forward. Like they are always flipping their style and revolutionizing the sound and doing these different things. And that's how they get known for being great. But there's other people that had they not been great, they wouldn't have known what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like New Edition.
Vanilla Ice.
Guys, I'm very sorry. I have to call it a night. My dog is alerting me, and I've been having like a little bit of Bell's palsy.
All right.
So
take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Be well.
Be well, Anna.
We should. Yeah, it's almost Monday o'clock.
No, it's not. It's not even 11. So let's go ahead and get through these real quick. I will feel sorry for this guy because the fact that all of this was said right in front of him, but it's Jim Jordan, so I have no sympathy for him. Here's Jim Jordan and the committee being compared to the Cleveland Browns.
But I have to say, and I think Chairman Jordan will appreciate this, this is getting a little embarrassing. And it feels a little bit like the 2017 Cleveland Browns. How many games they won in 2017? 0. They were 0-16. So they'd suit up every game. They'd say the pledge. They'd take the field. And everyone was really rooting for them because they were told as fans that they're going to win. They kept losing, and they kept losing, and they kept losing. And so I'm embarrassed for Chairman Jordan because we were promised that the crime of the century was coming from John Durham, and then we learned that John Durham took 2 cases to trial and he lost both of them. Then we were promised that Hunter Biden was going to go down for fraud, money laundering, all this salacious stuff. Then we learned that the Trump-appointed attorney, where half the investigation was conducted under the Trump administration, indicted Hunter Biden for failure to pay taxes that he ultimately ended up paying. The Weaponization Committee, I don't know if you remember them. We haven't had a hearing in over a month from them. Again, has failed to prove anything other than that it's just a obstruction of justice effort on behalf of Donald Trump. So Chairman Jordan's committee is starting to look like the Cleveland Browns. And it's just goose egg after goose egg.
Being
Better
too nice.
if he had said the Washington Generals, but I get where he was going.
But I get the point that it's just, you put a committee together. You try to be like the January 6th committee.
Have your stuff in order, but
That's what you try to do, Jim Jordan. You try to be like the January 6th committee. You try to get prime time numbers, and nobody was watching. And it failed. And it failed because you didn't come in good faith. The only thing this committee that Jim Jordan put together was basically a deflection. And I've said this before on this show. Again, I have receipts. you constantly keep saying about Hunter Biden and the laptop and everything else without I ain't gonna say realizing, you realize, you just try to pretend that it didn't happen because that's what you do. Understanding that the story ended with Tucker Carlson's acquaintance had the laptop. Remember? He has the laptop. He downloaded the information on the thumbnail. He sent it to Tucker Carlson. And somehow it got lost. Through who? Nobody knows because Tucker Carlson wouldn't say anything. So fine. The information on the thumbnail is lost. But guess what? Tucker Carlson's associate still has the laptop. Just turn it over if that's the case.
I'll do you one better, brother. And this is one of the things, with the laptop thing, at the foundation of it all, Hunter Biden was a private citizen and his laptop was stolen. So at that point, everything becomes moot.
Well, not really. That's not the story that they said. They didn't say that this laptop was stolen.
It was stolen. He took it to a computer shop and it was stolen out of the computer shop.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right. You're right.
So it's like,
you're right. It was stolen out of a pawn shop from a blind guy who couldn't see that it was Hunter Biden. But all of a sudden,
and then you held on to it to the point no one can do a forensic analysis on it. So you don't know what was added to it, taken from it, and played with or not played with. So the whole thing was a red herring. But we're fed it on this like constant barrage so that you're like, well, maybe there is something to it because you keep hearing about it, you know, and it's just wrong. It's the same deflection they do. Well, not the same, but it's like when they do, Trump does whatever he does, no matter what he does. And what do they always go? Well, Hillary and her email. Like, that had nothing to do with what you did. Like, you did this thing here. In fact, while you were president, your daughter got busted for having a server at their house. So, bruh, you know, but
the
we
rules
just
don't apply to him. They only for everybody else.
About that argument, Thea, this is what gets me. I would even listen to them. I would listen to them if you was human enough to say, to even go back to the same argument of, yeah, they did this, but he did this, but she did this. You don't even use that argument anymore. You go look at what Hillary did. Bruh, again, for the people who's on the fence. For the people who's on the fence, I'm trying to be more realistic with you. Okay? I'm trying to get you away from that toxic world. All of what Trump did with the documents in the box would have been swept under the rug. Promise you, would have been swept under the rug. Nothing would have came from this if he'd have just turned it in.
Yeah, he just gave it back wouldn't have been the case.
America that we live in. Give us the box back, and we will promise
They gave him 8,500
never held
chances.
this conversation before.
Yeah.
But
that's like I was saying back when.
Do that.
Not because of his ego. But I was saying back when all this was going down, I was like, hey, somebody needs to go knock on Obama's door, right? Because it's a problem with Washington that they get to take stuff. The problem, though, as far as the legal side of it, like they need to fix that, right? They need to fix whatever is allowing senior members of the government to take things out of the skiff that they ain't supposed to have, right? Because apparently this is not based on Trump. Well, this is different. Trump took truckloads of shit, but it's not just him, right? It's Pence, it's Biden, which means it's probably Schumer, and McConnell, and you know what I'm saying? Like all of them did stuff. If they senior, they had access.
I mean, you had a
They need to
army
fix that.
sergeant selling secrets. I'm like, y'all gonna let some 23-year-old in there like that? Y'all don't do no kind of security check? Like nothing?
There's a problem with their security process.
Yeah, I mean,
where Trump messed up. Yeah, where Trump messed up, he didn't give it back. Right?
Like how many gillion chances did they give him? Just give it back and we won't say nothing. No, I'm gonna just hide it in my house. No, I'm gonna put it in the bathroom.
The sense of Trump is, well, Trump is just showing you the vulnerability of the situation.
No, Hillary's emails.
Okay, that's great. Let me explain to you how silly that situation
They
is.
don't care, Marlon. They don't care.
I understand. I'm talking to the people that's on the fence, Tracy. I'm talking to the people that's on the fence. Let me show you how crazy that argument is. That's the equivalent of saying somebody broke into your house because of the vulnerability of your door. Does that mean they don't get arrested and convicted because there was a vulnerability to rob your house because your door wasn't as secure?
It's my fault my house is broken into by leaving the door open.
Here's
me
the
moving stuff in there.
I haven't done this because I just don't have the energy for it. But next time I have an interaction with a Trumpster or a Trump supporter, I'm gonna actually try to do this.
Have fun with that.
Should Trump go to jail or be prosecuted for the things that he stands accused of? Their answer is going to be no. Then I'm going to say, if Biden was charged with the exact same things, would you want him to be prosecuted? And then just make them lie to me. Just make them lie to me because they're going to lie. Just go ahead and lie to me. You want Biden to be impeached because of how he exited Afghanistan, even though Trump initiated the plan for Afghanistan.
Oh, I'm sorry. They have a reason?
Yeah, that's their reason.
Oh,
so if you want to get rid of Biden...
I thought it was about Hunter Biden's laptops. That's what I thought.
No,
I never got that. All I got was they wanted to impeach Biden, but they never gave the reason why they wanted to.
The clearest one I have is because of Afghanistan.
Because the last thing I remember was Marjorie Taylor Greene called Lauren Boebert a little B because she was going to do it and they was arguing about who was going to do it first.
Right. And they've been wanting to impeach Biden since the moment they got sworn in.
They wanted to impeach. They never gave a reason why they wanted to
I thought it was really Hunter Biden's laptop. I really did.
I thought this was
well, now they don't have enough to pin them on that. So really it doesn't matter anyway. They just want to have the show. Right. And they're going to try to do an impeachment trial next year. Guaranteed. Because there's going to be so much media attention on Trump that they have to do another show. So they're going to try to run a Biden impeachment opposite Trump going down the line of a prosecution. Guarantee you they're going to do it. But my thing is, like, if that's what you say Biden is bad for, the Biden crime family, right? This guy is so genius. Matter of fact, you kind of be impressed. They're basically saying that Democrats are geniuses because they went after Hillary Clinton. I agree. But they went after Hillary and they said the reason we couldn't get her is because they just had it wrapped up too tight. It was the deep state, right? They went after Obama. Same excuse. Now they're going after Biden. Same excuse. So how is it that you can not figure out what these people you think are so dumb have done? I mean, you saying Biden is drooling on himself and yet he's the head of a crime family? Meanwhile, we have a real head of a crime family where almost everybody in his administration has pled guilty.
Or has said they won't vote for him in the next election.
I got one better, Thiz. I got one better. Because I heard this earlier and I was like, yep. How is Biden so senile that he's the head of the most
because it's not him running it, it's the people around him. They'll answer that quick. They'll say he's senile, but they won't say. They'll say it's just the people that surround him that are really running things.
The deep state.
Yeah, or they'll say Kamala, although.
Whatever.
Then get this. That's the other thing. So you're not going to ever get them to come clean. Like Tracy said, they don't care, right? hypocrisy and all. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter. But at least make them lie to you, because they are against Kamala. And if you ask them why, they have nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
Could the laugh be
what
one
has
of
Kamala
the
done? Nothing.
Y'all
The
stop
laugh,
for a second.
though.
Y'all stop for a second, because the next video just pretty much proves my point. This lady right here.
I don't like her laugh.
That cackle get on my nerves. Like, girl, please don't laugh.
But that has nothing to do with her ability.
I know it
to
don't
do
have
the
nothing
job.
to do with nothing, but it get on my nerves. I'm like, ugh, don't
What
laugh.
y'all talking about?
Kamala's cackling.
She has an ugly laugh.
I never heard her laugh before.
Don't be grateful.
Okay.
Be real grateful.
But this lady right here just proves the point of what we've been talking about Trump. Like,
and don't forget, we have more cases than anybody in the world. But why? Because we do more testing. When you test, you have a case. When you test, you find something is wrong with people. If we didn't do any testing, we would have very few cases. They don't want to write that. It's common sense. So we test much more, many, many times. South Korea, you hear about? I spoke with the president of South Korea, spoke with many different presidents, prime ministers. They can't believe what we've been able to do on testing. They can't believe what we've been able to do on ventilators. We're sending them ventilators. Other countries, Italy, Spain, other countries, France is having tremendous problems. We're helping them with ventilators.
You just have to use his own words. You don't have to do nothing. Just play his words.
Oh, America.
If you would just stop thinking about it, and if you would stop thinking about it and stop using facts, everything would make sense.
He said you can't have a.
no, Tracy, I trust me, that was bad. I'm listening to him like, wait a minute. So if you don't, I get the whole, if you test less, you'll find more cases. I get that. It was stupid, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But then in the same sentence, paragraph, I should say, in the same paragraph, you went to, but other countries are amazed at our testing. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, I'm confused.
He did that. If you watched that, if you watched the town hall meeting and he was asking about E. Jean Carroll, he literally will contradict himself in the same sentence. Like the exact same sentence. He'll say, I didn't know her. I never met her. We were fooling around in the bathroom. Wait a minute, but you just said,
He gives you every side of the argument at the same time. And
you're
then
like, wait, what?
So you can't keep up with it.
America. I keep saying America.
Come out and just say that.
Trump is a walking, talking ad libs. He is a choose your own adventure story, right? Whatever you want him to be, what he said will let you make that story.
And y'all sitting here thinking he's smart. He not. I'm smarter than he is.
I told him
he is smart.
I literally said he wasn't smart. I said
he is not smart.
I still say he's smart.
Anybody that says that fly a nuclear bomb into a hurricane is not smart. That's just not smart.
I sat here and said this about Trump, and I will promise you I will go to my grave.
You ain't never met stupid smart people?
No. I have sat here and said that Trump is the greatest con artist.
He's a cop. He's a great marketer.
Con artists are intelligent.
But if you have
con artists are very intelligent.
He is not smart.
He's not even book smart. He's not even common sense smart. Like, you know how you could be like, you not book smart. But you just street smart. He's not street smart. He's not common sense smart. He's not nothing smart. I'm smarter than he is.
I'm going to use the word genius. He is genius in how he can read.
Things go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed.
I'm saying he is genius in his ability to manage human psychology and social persuasion.
That's not smart. That's a skill.
It's still smart.
That's a skill. That's not.
You saying people who have skills aren't smart?
It depends on what situation you put them in.
He's
what
a
skill do people have that they're not smart doing it?
I know a lot of people, and sorry, I don't want y'all to be watching this show, but y'all know I'm telling the truth. I know a lot of people who are great construction workers. They know how to build a house from beginning to end. That is a skill that they have. You hold a conversation.
It's a skill, but it's smart.
And oh my good God.
Can I send you out onto a construction site and you build the walls perfectly level and at a 90-degree angle?
No, because
and you
a
know how long
construction
it
worker
takes?
has to know math. They have to know. They have to know geometry.
They have to know about temperatures. They have to know about.
They have to know.
People are smart,
but Trump
they're
don't
just
have those
not.
skills.
But it doesn't mean they're fully transferable, right? It doesn't mean that because you can work on a car that you can go work on a heart, right? But they're both smart because the guy who can work on a heart can't go work on a heart. I mean, a car. So it's a skill. Is still intelligence. A street hustler, he don't do nothing but do that 3-card Monty, but he understands human psychology in such a way that you can't keep up with what I'm doing, and I know how to distract you in such a way to keep you, off kilter, so I still win, even though there's only 3 cards, right? This is still intelligence. Is it positively used? I don't know. There's a case to be made one way or the other, but it's still smart. The man's smart. Could you do what he's doing? Could you do?
Not with a clean conscience. I have a conscience. I have something inside of me ain't gonna let me do some stuff like that. Nope, I couldn't.
Sleep at night. I could not do.
No, because there's no way.
No, see, that's just us separating ourselves from him on a moral ground to say, well, I wouldn't do that because I don't do bad things. But as far as being able to manipulate the people around him, to hire the people to keep him in business, to raise his children to run the business, even when he's over here doing this thing over here, to negotiate with foreign leaders all over the place and leverage his power to get more out of it, that stuff is intelligence. It's just that he's evil.
We agree with you. He's evil.
He is like a comic book villain made real.
I mean, he's Lex Luthor. No, he's not even as smart because Lex Luthor is smart. I can't even say compare him to that.
No, that's not
he's like Lex Luthor's
depends on what version of Lex Luthor you look at.
I mean, I'm talking about
Lex Luthor was always
brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And how is he different than Trump? Because Lex Luthor was always in prison.
But he wasn't. He didn't file bankruptcy 80
He get out to go back to jail.
He became president.
He did become president, but he gave people what they wanted too.
And that's how Trump became president.
That's Trump. Yeah. Never mind. Maybe he is Lex Luthor.
Wait a minute. No, he's what cartoon?
He's Lex Luthor in a world with no Superman.
Because Lex Luthor is smarter than Superman. If you being just honest about it, Lex Luthor is smarter than Superman.
Without his power, Superman ain't nothing.
Because without his power, what is Superman? He's just a strong person that can fly. Oh, and see through stuff. And then
take away his powers, and Superman couldn't do none of that. That's why he got his butt kicked as Clark Kent.
No,
Superman.
But he chose to give up his power. He chose to.
Hold on. That's absolutely not true.
Yeah, whatever. Comic book man.
Literally, I'm not joking. Literally, there is a comic out right now that showed that Superman was smarter than Lex Luthor. He just never used his smartness. He wanted the
Solomon Grundy. Trump is Brainiac. Trump is Brainiac. That's who Trump is. That's the super villain that Trump is.
That was some cognitive dissonance right there, boy.
Crazy
Superman was smarter than him. He just didn't have to be smart, so he wasn't going to be smart.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that. Here was the whole theme of it. That Lex Luthor at one point did steal Superman's powers. All of his powers. This was in the cartoon. He stole all of his powers, including his intelligence. And when Lex Luthor stopped and went, "Oh my God, all this I could have done if I knew what you knew," and Superman took the powers away. Because I'm gonna tell you, stop. Because
I'm not gonna argue a comic book like it's real.
I'm gonna tell you this because there's a lesson in it.
Hey, I read comic books.
I'm gonna tell you.
I'm not gonna read I'm not gonna argue a comic book like it's real life. I can't do it.
It's about a 45 seconds thing. Lex Luthor powers was taken away, and Lex Luthor said, "How could you have taken my powers away? Do you not know with this intelligence I could have saved this world?" And Superman said, "You had the ability to do everything that I know, but you chose not to. So stop trying to," I know he did say gaslight it, but stop trying to say you would have saved this world if you had the knowledge that I have. Where you know deep down, even if you had the knowledge that I have, you wouldn't have used it the way I would have.
So first of all, that whole argument is BS, because get this. If your knowledge, Superman, is such that you can save the world, like Lex Luthor could have used your powers to save the world, and yet you don't save the world. Therefore, what does that say about you, Mr. Superman?
That one too.
Yeah, because really, it's up to you to save you.
Because it's the God argument. It's the God argument.
That's the whole thing of Superman.
The God argument.
Argument was, I'm here to protect the world, not save the world.
He ain't Jesus. I mean, come on, he can't. He ain't that.
Jesus couldn't do it either, but
that's because they didn't want.
I'm saying because he didn't want to. He had a different mission. But what I'm saying is the Superman argument. You just used the God argument there, right? So on one hand, you telling Lex Luthor, I gave you all the power. You had all the power to change the world, and yet look at yourself. You were so selfish that you weren't willing to care for others beyond yourself. And that's why you didn't do the things you're telling me you wanted to do. And then on the other hand, you say, well, Superman, if you got the power and the intelligence, why don't you do it? And then he said, it's not for me to do. It's for you to do, because this is your problem. This is your world. You're supposed to do better by your world. I'm not here to do that for you. And then the next stage would be, well, Superman, if you believe that, why are you interfering with things on a daily basis?
Because he's Superman. That's what he's supposed to do.
Because Superman's ability to do the stuff that he does is to save situations, not change the world.
But he is changing the world by changing situations. See, it's the God argument. I love this.
I got the God. I get the God argument.
That's the genius of these comic book people.
How far are we going to go where everything will go wrong in this world? Any and all things will go wrong in this world, and the only way that you're going to say that everything will be right. Wait a minute. Let me rephrase it. Superman 4. Do you think it was okay?
Oh, please, not Superman 4. Use one or two. Use one or two, but not 4.
Awful movie.
Not 4.
It's one part of it.
I don't remember him like that.
Don't never watch Superman. Don't y'all watch Superman 4?
Literally, I'm gonna be honest with everybody that's watching what I'm talking about right now. If y'all go past 2, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just watch 1 and 2 and you go, okay, don't you watch 3 was with Richard Pryor, terrible. And 4 was so bad, I'm just like, oh, don't stop this now. Stop. Yes, Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was in Superman 3 because remember he had the scheme where he would put money into, he would make computers go backwards and add money to his account.
2 was when the 3 people from Krypton came to Earth.
That's 2. That's the best one.
That was the good one. That's one where he gave up his powers and then he had to go back and get them.
That was 2. We talking about Superman 3 with Richard Pryor.
Yeah. Superman 2 is when he gave up his powers and realized he wasn't about that life. He had to go back and get them.
But anyway, Superman, whatever, World of Peace or whatever the point.
That was for the Quest for Peace. Oh gosh, I know the movie.
Okay, so
oh gosh,
with your argument, would you be okay with Superman decided, okay, I'm going to take all nuclear warheads.
Yep, he did tell him
that. Fly it to the sun, and there you go. So you can't threaten.
Didn't ask nobody. He just did it. He was like, I'm taking them.
I'll sweep it out. That's not.
Are you asking would I be okay with that?
Absolutely. That's the world. Absolutely nothing.
So I would be against that for the very reason that I oppose much of your traditional dogma as it relates to God, because I don't believe that's how God interacts. So that goes back to what we were saying before about, you want your own dictator, right? So long as he's doing what you want to do, then you're good with him, and then the other side not. So Superman could go out there and take all the nuclear warheads, and he can take them into space and send them on out there, and whatever happens, happens. And then the knowledge of man hasn't changed, though, so we'll just make some more. So what's he going to do? He's going to go and run around the world and keep killing off the people who have the knowledge to build them? Or is he going to run around the world and get the people and lock them up? Is he going to run around the world and interfere with everybody? Like, where does it stop?
You obviously didn't see the movie. Because they cheered wildly. When he said he was going to take them weapons, they said, yes.
Because people are stupid.
Take them. Take them.
Because people are dumb.
That is my point. That's why Superman did, with all the knowledge that he has, he didn't interfere with anything that could change the world.
But he interferes with other things.
He wanted what he was doing to be a symbol.
He was playing God.
Be good.
Well, if you think about it, that's who Superman closely resembles. I mean, the
Superman decided who lived and who died.
The symbolism between Superman and Jesus is just so much there.
Okay, so let me put it to you this way: calling Superman a god would be the equivalent of saying that Batman was God to Gotham.
No, it wouldn't. Batman didn't have superpowers. Ask a Justin friend; they'll tell you.
Yeah,
and Superman, yes, Batman did have powers. Batman's superpower was white privilege.
Don't you tell that? Don't you tell that silly joke again?
It was white privilege, was it not?
That man was so rich that man was so
what
rich.
What did the Wayne Foundation actually do? Oh,
a lot of stuff.
Create weapons of war.
They created weapons.
Create weapons of war.
That was Tony Stark. That was not Batman.
Yes, it was Batman too.
The Wayne Foundation created
weapons. That's
where
his technology was coming from. They repurposed military technology so he could do different things. He was a major. His company did as much good as it did bad. That was part of the background of Bruce Wayne and his family.
And
that
that's
was one
why
of the
his
complexities that was
parents got killed. Then he assumed Batman. Well, of course, I'm with the 1960 TV show that neither one of y'all like.
The man who wears underwear outside his clothes.
That's where I'm gonna go. That's where I'm gonna go.
No.
Dad bod Batman.
No.
Dad bod Batman.
No. We are freaking not going to 1960s. No. We are not going to talk about fat Batman. No.
He wasn't fat.
He was not
fat.
No,
he wasn't fat, and he was over the hill.
He's being Batman.
He was in his late 20s when he played Batman.
And he was in his.
Oh, why did he look like he was 50?
Because people were like less in physical shape than they are now.
Damn, he shouldn't have been no Batman.
Oh,
anywho,
that man looked like he's.
Y'all better leave Adam West, the best Batman, alone. He was the best. Then Michael Keaton.
Hell no, not a chance in hell.
And I'm biased anyway. The best Batman was Christian Bale.
The best Batman was.
It was Adam
West. Let me rephrase it.
Michael Keaton.
Here's what I did do. I did split it. Because for a long while I said the best Batman was Michael Keaton. Adam West was never in the argument ever.
Christian Bale was better than both.
For a while I said the best Batman.
So you're not gonna say George Clooney?
No one says George Clooney.
No one says
unless they're making a point about Ben Affleck.
Thank you. He was worse.
No.
It wasn't that he was. Yeah, he was miscast.
He was bad.
It wasn't his fault. I mean,
Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck should not be allowed to make another superhero movie ever.
Daredevil. I mean, y'all didn't watch that movie?
Absolutely terrible.
I watched it because who was he played against? Who was the one he played opposite?
His wife, his soon-to-be ex-wife,
Jennifer Garner. That's why I watched it.
But I say the best now I say the best Batman was Michael Keaton. I have split that now. The best Bruce Wayne was Michael Keaton. The best
I'll give you that.
Batman was Christian Bale.
Well, I will not split mine. The best Superman was Christopher Reeves. Period. Point blank.
I agree with that. With you on that one. Yeah.
I agree with that.
I don't even want to hear. I want to hear about George Reeves. I don't want to hear about that one actor.
Don't nobody know nobody else's name.
I'm like the British guy that plays him in the new movie. Nah, Christopher Reeves equals Superman. Period.
He is Superman.
He was the best Clark Kent. He was the best Superman.
Yes. if y'all come on this show, I could take y'all off, but I can't because y'all not on this show. Anybody who don't think Christopher Reeve was Superman
and Clark Kent
and
Jor-El, because his name was Jor-El when he lived on Krypton. When he came to Earth, he was Clark Kent.
Telling you, all he did was he made Jesus a superhero, and later on he gave him a dog.
And he's not.
No. Nope.
Yeah, count him. That's
what all superheroes aim to copy.
Marvel and DC. They always said that about Marvel and DC. DC was gods trying to be man, and Marvel was man trying to be gods. So if you look at it, when you look at
even if you look at Wonder Woman, you'd be like, oh yeah, I see it.
People like Aquaman, people like Batman, regardless if you say he ain't got no powers, trust me, everybody in the damn Justice League feared Batman because he had the ability to take all of them down if he really wanted to. People
I would
like
push it a little bit.
They had God.
I would push it a little different.
They lived among men.
It is all built off of God theory, right?
Hold on. Now let's go to Marvel. Do you have people like Tony Stark?
Spider-Man.
You have people like Spider-Man. You have people like
Hulk.
Captain America. You people had Spider-Women. These are people who were men.
She-Hulk.
But they had the ability to become gods.
Black Panther.
I would push back. Here's where I would put it. Because it's more closely tied to the whole Greek mythology than it is to simple Western religiosity. Because Greek mythology had the Titans and then it had the gods, right? So you had the humans and you had the gods and the demigods, right? Which is kind of similar to what you're talking about with the Marvel and DC thing. Where you had levels to this, right? You had a full-fledged Superman, and then you had like the Incredible Hulk, David Banner, right? So like there are levels to this. And they had an entire ecosystem of levels of gods and partial gods and super gods. And so that's cool. It's all right. But what I was saying as far as Jesus being a superhero, no. They might make superheroes based off the images.
They definitely make superheroes based off of definitely.
Right. They use Greek mythology and religiosity to build the superheroes because it's something we can attach to. And it's something that speaks to us and it allows us to like really dig into these things, become attached.
They sacrifice themselves for something great.
That's the point.
They would fight when they had no reason to. And stay good doing it.
Understand that you would understand that at one point you may have to sacrifice yourself. Oh, by the way, for everybody who sits there and wonder who would win between Superman and Incredible Hulk, I want y'all to go watch the Avengers movie and watch how Thanos beat the living crap out of Hulk. Because I have no thought in my mind that Thanos.
Why they be trying to put people against Superman? He's super. It's in his name.
I'm saying because I have no doubt in my mind. Thanos could not beat Superman, and Thanos beat the living crap out of the Hulk.
If Batman could beat Superman,
Batman pulled out kryptonite. That's the only reason he picked it.
I'm a Batman person, so I'm gonna be totally honest with you when I say that. Batman did beat Superman
with 20,000
a weekend.
Yeah, with like 20,000 gallons of kryptonite. Sure, okay. I mean,
doesn't matter. He won. Which then flies in the face of what you were saying earlier about Superman being so super intelligent that he couldn't outthink a master strategician like.
But he had to weaken him.
Bruce Wayne.
Like if Superman at his full power. Come on, you know Batman ain't no way, no way, no how.
That's part of the fight.
You can look at Injustice for All. That's Superman at his full power. That is Superman without.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Injustice for All was an evil Superman, but would you call him an evil Superman because Injustice for All was morally saying that Superman would do whatever it takes to keep the world at peace. Basically what you were saying. If you're so smart and you're so genius, why don't you do this?
Ooh.
It just
he makes himself calls,
right? Who literally did
like Black Adam.
Yeah. How you know Black Adam, but you don't know the Injustice?
Because he had a movie recently and I
Yeah,
watched
it's 11. Mickey just pointed out something. It is 11:21.
Okay, last video of the night, and let's get on up out of here. Next to last, because I still have to do my motivational video.
Sorry to keep you waiting, babe. You ready?
Whoa!
What's wrong?
What the fuck?
It's my outfit. You know what? I can change. I can put on something.
No, it is not. Girl, this look fire. You looking hella thick.
Are you sure? I could just change.
Why would you do that? I love this outfit. You looking beautiful.
Okay, it's not too much or too provocative.
Girl, stop playing with me. You looking nice and thick in this outfit. And I mean that in a good way. Shit. Know what I got?
Oh, okay. You sure you're not gonna get mad?
Why would I get mad?
If other people are looking.
If they're not looking, I don't want it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Girl, you looking fine. Beautiful, scrumptious. Just want to eat you up.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, put that seatbelt on. Damn, girl, you... Got me a good one.
Stop.
Shit. Look, I was tripping. Got me a good one.
The hell was that?
I should have told you all the beginning of this video. This is going from a toxic relationship to a non-toxic relationship.
I'm gonna tell you this. Her whole behavior in there was weird because if she was worried about his reaction to her clothes, why the hell did she put the clothes on to get and then go get in the car? And then she got in the car wearing the clothes that she allegedly wanted to wear and then felt uncomfortable that he was okay with what she had on. The whole video was dumb as hell. The only way this makes any sense is if he's a creepy ass stepdad and that's his stepdaughter. Then it gets real creepy. But if these are two people in an actual committed relationship, none of that video made any damn sense.
Problem. Because I said if she came from a toxic relationship where she has to be seen a certain way, a certain style.
Then she wouldn't have got dressed and came to the car like that. If that's her fear,
What
she
was
would
she
not have gotten
dressed
dressed
like?
and come to the car like that.
What was she dressed
She
like?
came dressed nice, but I mean, all right, so she came with like a halter top type joint showing off her midriff and tight shorts, right? Like the stretch shorts. So it accentuates her butt. Yeah, I saw all that real quick. So that's what she had on, right?
Maybe
now,
I missed all that. I'm like,
if she comes from a toxic relationship where her man was insecure and wouldn't be accepting of her going out in public like that, then she would not have put that on and gone out to the car like that. So the fact that she did put that on, that is what she wanted to wear, and then she comes out to the car, so that means it's what she wanted to wear now, and then she gets in the car and she's completely uncomfortable with him being okay with it. That's why I'm calling bullshit.
Well, but did
after all this,
it's a dumbass shit. It made no sense. It's terrible writing.
Yeah, I do realize I go to work tomorrow, right? I'm just saying, I go to work tomorrow.
Y'all kill me with y'all the one.
It's not Saturday, it's Sunday. I go to work tomorrow.
Like we ain't been together for 3 hours, Marlon. Talking about y'all.
Y'all carry
we could have watched Endgame.
Y'all keep acting like I'm the one that's talking this long.
It was y'all two sitting up here arguing about the two-party system, not me.
Yeah, it was the two-party system that made this long.
Yep.
Not the Superman conversation we just had a few seconds ago.
No, that was like 5 minutes long.
For everybody, tomorrow morning, I want you to remember.
Before you take that finger and scroll again, let me remind you who the fuck you are, because I think you forgot. Honey, you are the one and not the two. You are the A and not the Z. You are the top and not the bottom. You are the head and not the tail. You are the choice and not the backup. You are the shit, the whole shit, and nothing but the what? Yes, honey, so you go out there and you act accordingly, knowing that you are everything and everything is you. So as you go out there and be great in their face, remember to have a good day on purpose here. Now smile, because bitch, you're gorgeous. You're welcome.
Was hurt. Cause she like, you are not the top. I mean, you are the top and not the bottom. Somebody got to be the bottom. You are not the A. You are the Z. You not the Z. You the A. I'm sorry. You not A. Don't nobody choose you. You by A. Don't nobody want you, man. Hey, sorry. You know. Sorry. You know. You are gorgeous. Nah, some people just ugly. You know what I'm saying?
I can't do negative today.
Don't get somebody's feelings hurt. You are just fine as you are. You are okay.
I can't do negative today.
Tracy, tell everybody where they can find them while I'm still happy.
August the 18th, you can find me and Anna on High Heels and Blue Jeans at 8:15 p.m. 8:15 p.m.
That's a weird day.
Yeah, because I'm doing my rant about why I'm leaving the left, and then I go straight into, I go one to another.
Yes.
I got nothing.
Oh, and TracyMediaLLC.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. And of course,
I'm assuming you're Ligibatoire until you.
And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
At the red house.
Where black people and white people buy
That was so creepy that y'all would do that at the same time. That is